Welcome to anyone who happens to be watching this utter debacle of players being horrible to Drat.
We're the best.
Doing nothing wrong.
How can we be horrible to you? You're the GM. We've got to be nice.
How can you be horrible to me? I don't know, but somehow you're figuring it out as you go.
Nothing.
We need to just push the envelope of it.
I've also just hit local recording because I'm not certain how well Twitch is going to cope with a total of 8 video feeds. 7 video feeds technically.
If I stay very still...
Twitch technically is only getting 1 video feed.
OBS,
no, because of different windows.
Or how well OBS on your computer will cope.
Yeah. So I am currently showing a lot of drop frames. However, usually the audio comes through okay. So I am hoping, as I said, that the recording, worst case, I can upload. So
this is a bit of an experiment. If playing with this many people really doesn't pan out, there is only one solution, and that is for you, the viewers, to buy Drat a really good new computer before we do this again.
Alternatively, we split the party, we split everybody into 2 and run parallel chains.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Fair. Right. So, for the camera, Your Honour, welcome to Isla R, a Cthulhu Jurassic Park, but not in any knowing or suable sense. Mashap. Tentacles and dinosaurs, what could possibly go wrong? Oh, thank you.
A little early.
I can't really call it Prehistoric Park either, because that's taken too.
Yeah, it is.
I figure if the Asylum can get away with this shit, then frankly, I'm okay.
God, Prehistoric Park was a weird TV show. Loved it, but it was weird.
I love
a
Prehistoric
chiptune
Park.
rendition of a Madonna song that shall remain nameless.
Yeah. That's the problem. I know what it's called, and unfortunately, let's not delete all the characters. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Well,
It's even
maybe
better when you
delete them once
remember
we get eaten, but...
the original islands from Jurassic Park were called the 5 Islands of Death.
Yep.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That's really dumb.
And of that, in Jurassic World Evolution, one of them is actually called Isla Muerta, which is just taking the mickey.
Just for good measure.
Drat is not going to go completely mad, Shard.
I
Drat
don't
cannot go anywhere. She already is.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can't get there from
You can
here.
always get more mad.
She might just pace back and forth within mad.
Yeah.
Wearing a hole in the carpet.
Yep. I'd rather wear a t-shirt, to be honest, but, frankly, it depends how far you send me. Okay.
It's a little revealing, so,
If you pace in a circle, you might actually create a portal. Be a lot more useful than back and forth.
Or just a circle of carpet that shifts whenever you step on it.
I mean, or that.
Okay. Welcome to sunny Isla R. The A is invisible, but frequently pronounced, because it looks like the word's fraying.
I'm looking forward to seeing you try and pronounce that island name after you've had more to drink.
I don't have had any to drink, frankly. There's way more cherryade in there than there is alcohol, let's put it that way.
Well, I get the feeling that the ratios are going to gradually switch as the evening goes on.
Change, yeah.
Before we start proper, I did just want to point out that the chat on the stream is over...
It's over Tal's face. Well spotted that.
You got there just before I did, Chrono.
Yeah, well spotted. Okay.
Yeah.
You should put it over the face of the
was
person
working and
who
then
doesn't have a
probably
video
closed it
feed.
again. So.
No.
Also, Tal's kind of frozen.
Yeah, recovering connection.
Yeah.
Covering connection, yes.
Okay, what I'm doing is I'll turn
Welcome
off.
back, Tal.
I was back.
I will turn off Fantasy Grounds because I'm using it to run. I'm not using it for displays, per se.
Oh,
just
put it in the middle,
chat in there.
sure.
And I will stick the chat in the middle.
That works.
Good call.
Yeah. which I
something
should have
keep
thought out
forgetting to
before.
do when
Apologies.
creating these layouts, I keep forgetting to make sure there is a space for the chat.
No, it's
to go.
entirely
It really
my
needs an
fault,
extra
dear.
window, and I always give it 1-2 for you.
It's entirely my own fault.
Nobody watching wants to see the chat anyway.
No, but I like it because we do comment back and forth to chat, and that's fine.
Yeah. And if nothing else, of course, if you're watching the Twitch VOD, then you get the chat. But once it goes to YouTube, that vanishes. So
Yeah, fair.
it's nice for YouTube viewers to be able to see
What we're bouncing off of.
what insults are being thrown our way.
Yeah. So, welcome to sunny Isla R, an artificial island constructed over a series of volcanic upthrows. About 10 years before the game setting, in the Polynesian area of the Pacific. You are north of Tahiti, south of Hawaii. Nearest major ports are in New Zealand or Big Island, Hawaii.
North of Tahiti, south of Hawaii. Stuck in the middle with you.
And yeah, about 10 years ago, there was a major volcanic upheaval, and chunks of the ocean floor were thrust up in a series of islets. And the Johansen Angel Energy Company, who had the mineral extraction rights for this area, asserted their right that they had everything in a column from the seafloor to the sea, and that therefore these new islands were theirs. Since ostensibly they didn't really look like much, and no national government could quite work out who they belonged to, it was let slide. And since then, they discovered a wealth of strange and new fossils, which, with their own personal technology department, they have parlayed into living beings, which are vastly different to those seen in textbooks, and in many ways have helped to rewrite the history of anthropology and archaeology. It seems that soft tissue decays in very different ways and very rarely leaves fossil records, which is the only possible explanation for the sheer volume of what were thought to be feathers, but turned out, in fact, to be softer protuberances with independent motion in various different proportions.
I mean, it depends on the creature that it's on. It could be an arm.
You know, crocodiles with prehensile tails, that sort of thing. So, the velociraptor, for example, much bigger than expected, about 7 foot tall, and with a neat fringe forming a cute little beard of wiggling tentacles.
So a larger velociraptor crossed with a star-nosed moth.
Your turkey turns
That
out
is
to be
actually
7
so
foot tall.
adorable, though.
Given that velociraptors were actually like what 6 inches tall, a foot tall.
No, they were kind of turkey size, if I recall correctly.
They
Yeah.
were like turkey to wolf size.
Yeah. But turkeys are fucking bigger than you expect.
Yes, they are.
Turkeys are pretty large.
Turkeys
Until
are
you
bigger
eat
than
them.
you expect, except when you're trying to buy one near Christmas.
Yes. Okay. So, this island has been open to corporate clients for roughly a year, and features a series of discrete parklands across the artificial surface of the island, built over the platform on a series initially of pontoons and now bridges, in a 5-sectioned display of technology and materials, which is the pride of the Johansen Angel Corporation. At the centre of this stands the resort proper. a massive hotel come shopping complex from which guests can take tours or simply wander the walkways and tunnels around to see the various displays of majestic wildlife.
I
Majestic.
do have an important out-of-character question. The Hansel Angel Corporation, did their founder come from Gortfell by any chance?
You will never have that fact confirmed.
I will never know. Yeah,
No.
I'm going to just assume that the answer's yes.
Johansson was the name in the Call of Cthulhu of the ship captain at the
Yes.
end. And Angel is from Professor Angel, who is the uncle of the narrator of Call of Cthulhu, who initially did all the research. However, in this universe, yeah, it's entirely possible that Johansson originated in Gortfell.
I have a very important question. Since these creatures have been made and are regularly viewed by visitors,
Yep.
does that mean that they don't cause sand checks?
Ah. Oh, you sweet summer child. Park workers who see these things on a regular basis and are introduced to them over the
Already
course
lost their sanity.
of a week-long, carefully designed program of exposure.
This explains why my starting sanity is 30.
Yeah, that's really, that would explain. Yeah,
Yes.
and my mind's like closer to 50.
They, and those who pass the 5-day induction process go on to work within the park, and those who don't are housed in Tahiti-based personal reserves to allow them to recover their equilibrium.
Uh-huh.
I just love the fact that everyone that signs up to work at this park is going to have to sign a waiver that they don't, that the park is not responsible for their mental health.
Yep. All your health plans, because a lot of the company is American. All of your health plans do not cover therapy.
Yeah.
You're on your own, mate.
Working at Isla R is definitely classed as a pre-existing condition.
So, 3 of you are already on the island and have been serving corporate clients who've been coming here on retreat and paying top dollar for it for the first year, which was kind of the corporate proof of concept. Since nobody got eaten on camera, and they've only had limited running and screaming and dying. They've deemed it safe, and it's now been thrown open to the wider public. It's still extremely expensive, but it's no longer purely corporate, although there are corporate wings to the resort. Corporate levels to the
Wait,
hotel.
so the resort flies?
Give it time.
I know that wide-eyed look.
I just do a lovely line in beatific smiles. That's all I can say. So... Oh,
I've just
don't do
realised
to
that
me.
people have been misinterpreting the conditions for Cthulhu's return all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is just waiting for a particular movie to be released. And he's not going to come out until the stars are right.
Oh.
Are you sure you're going to survive, Gut?
Dracula story, drink that can. You put that down, you haven't heard it.
You're really, really angling for your kid to get eaten, aren't you, Fishy?
Oh, to be honest, Billy is an awful human being. I'm just hoping he dies in a terrible, terrible
That child to
way.
die.
Sorry, Tal.
I was just saying, we all want that child to die.
Yes.
We
So,
don't know that yet. We've never met him.
We can't get too carried away. We can't kill him too soon. We've got to wait for something really good and
It's got to be
satisfying.
real satisfying. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, 3 of you are already on the island. So, those of you already on the island, would you like to introduce yourselves? Starting with Nightbites, because I'm going round to the corner.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nightbites, and tonight I will be playing Alan Krychek, who is one of the better chefs among the island staff. Highly trained, I think, is the correct wording.
Right. Shard.
Hello, I'm Shard Angel. I'm going to be playing Jim Connor, who is that guy in the raptor costume running around giving children hugs, except now I'm also wearing a hot-ass Santa outfit.
Yep.
On top of that.
With tentacles.
With
I love
tentacles.
my job. I love it so much.
Yes.
You have mechanical tentacles as well. They're going to be producing heat.
Yep. Yeah.
Lugging around the battery pack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It has the
Yeah, you've got the
animatronic.
battery pack. Actually sits handily within the lower jaw of the
Oh
Velociraptor
god, that's
costume.
what makes the suit so hot.
So
Oh.
yeah, basically your head is about 3 millimeters away from a large lithium battery.
My head
Oh,
is
wonderful.
roasting. How am I supposed to have any? Oh,
It's not just roasting,
Well,
it's
you've
going
got
to
it hooked into
it's
a-
gonna get blown up at some point if you're not careful.
Keeping
If
No,
with
you
the
shoot
theme of,
lithium batteries, they blow up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for helping me get into character. I'm there
keeping
now.
with the theme of workplace horrors, is Nightbite's going to be cooking with dinosaur meat?
We will
If I
be.
can manage it, yes.
Are you going to have tentacle soup?
Wimpy
If I
tentacle.
can manage it, yes.
Spud, introduce a little sanity to the proceedings, please.
Hello, I am Spud. I think you've put far too much pressure on me there, Like, that's far too great an expectation.
Yeah.
I am Barry Rake, an overqualified, underpaid part worker who studied natural history and now works a minimum wage job with insanity-causing dinosaurs.
Yep. It's a shock to the system. Everybody gets completely overturned mentally as soon as they see these things because, yeah, you just don't expect anything this big in this kind of world. You don't expect, for example, all the science to have been overturned and for brontosaurs to, in fact, have been carnivores until you see them feeding baby elephants.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Yep.
this is Barry's outfit, however, I get cold easily, so I'm wearing a dressing gown. The part
Is one of the-
just getting covered.
Is one of the opening exhibits feeding Rudolph to a brontosaur?
Don't be silly. Rudolph's not that big. However,
It's an afternoon snack.
Run Rudolph is an interesting situation because there are regular Rudolph runs wherein half a dozen reindeer are let loose in the Velociraptor paddock.
Oh my god.
Not safe for kids at all, this park, is it?
Genius.
I'm sorry, guys.
No,
This is
Children,
So
This is
there's
you.
no
here's the
laws
thing, right?
against it.
There's Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. We know he runs very fast. He leads Santa's sleigh. Then there's Rudolph the brown-nosed reindeer. Runs just as fast as Rudolph, but can't stop as quickly.
oh.
Lie down! Out! Leave this house!
And thank you
Okay.
to Peanut Gallery.
Yes. Okay, and
Hey guys, it's snowing!
no, that's just bone fragments.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, what?
is it snowing
Oh,
at your
it's
end?
actually snowing at someone's place.
Yes, I keep forgetting. Of course, you're in the far reaches of the land of America.
No, I'm in the middle of it. It sucks here. This is the only good time.
Fair enough. Oh God. Okay, you realise I am absolutely going to have to write this scenario up and use all these characters as the
Yeah,
pre-gens.
it's amazing.
Sorry,
Yep.
Yeah,
I thought you were about to say fodder there.
Yeah, that
pre-gen, fodder, same deal.
Our
Okay.
characters are amazing.
There you go. You've got the first thing that needs to go on your coffee page.
Yes. Yep. So, access to the island if your staff is by ferry, which is why people don't actually leave the island this much. Your paid time off comes with freedom to roam the resort. In off hours when there are no other paying customers. You get to ride a lot of the roller coasters, which take you over the lake in Park 3, which
That
takes
lake is
you.
uninhabited, right? Please tell me it's uninhabited.
Why would it be uninhabited?
What's in the lake? What's in the
Point
lake?
of wasting all of that good exhibition space.
Well, the original thought was it was going to be those prehistoric crocodile ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not quite what came out.
Something.
Nobody's ever been entirely certain, but periodically you do see the muzzle type arrangement just emerging from the water. No more than about 10 feet out of the water, though. And
The muzzle
something...
comes 10 feet out.
Yeah.
Of the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, but most of it remains hidden.
Yeah.
Iceberg
of the
creatures.
muzzle. We don't know exactly how long it is.
Yeah. No one's quite sure because they've just been growing ever since they got put in there. And they're reasonably sure there are only about 3 or 4 out of the initial litter of about 15. But periodically you'll see them splashing around and the twin little splashes of their tails and things like that. And
Tails.
the height of the roller coaster has been calculated so that even the dip doesn't bring you more than 15 feet from the water. Less than
Oh,
15
Jesus
feet from
Christ.
the water.
I'm not getting on that ever again.
Also, it's set up so that first thing in the morning, there is a run by which somebody takes the roller coaster around largely empty, but effectively chumming the water, just to take the edge off any kind of hunger after their main meal at dawn. And therefore, it's expected that although it might get their attention, they're probably not going to try and eat the cars as they come over.
Or they're going to
Probably
get used to the fact that when the car comes, it's feeding time.
It's feeding time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the animal behaviourist, Professor Pavlov, is absolutely convinced that this is the best way to keep the customers safe.
Is he a corporate tool?
Pavlov.
Like, that's not how anything works. We don't even know what these creatures are. I've talked with my friend.
Capitalism.
I've talked with my friend Barry about natural history, and this isn't how things are supposed to work.
Look, this park
Yeah,
has
Barry,
passed all
for
of the
reference,
required tests
Barry
from
and Jim are
the
roommates.
administration. Everything's absolutely fine. We
Barry
tick
and Jim
all
are
the
roommates and
boxes.
also look strangely alike.
Yes. Sorry, Queno, you were saying?
All requisite safety measures have been implemented.
Exactly, yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yep.
We
And
got
the-
presidential authority specially to build this.
Yep. I'm just thinking of the backgrounds I've given everybody, and good luck with that. So, right. So, so that's the access to the island for staff is by fairly slow ferry. So, access for the paying customers is by seaplane. They've reinstituted the passenger seaplanes for that whole 1940s vibe. 1940s, 1950s vibe. And welcome to Afghanistan. Good luck to you.
Are they called Dinosaur Airlines, as in like dinosaur?
That would just be too cheesy.
And this is nothing if not a professional operation.
This is absolutely nothing
Like a professional.
like a professional operation. This is running, at the moment it's running to profit, but obviously more money. I love Sarcosuchus. I may have been marathoning Walking with Dinosaurs on in the run up to this, by the way. Just saying.
Oh, so we're going to have the
No, the
horrendously
bloody
inaccurate
Lypeurodon.
Lypeurodon.
I know what's coming from that lake. I know.
It's that reef. It's fine. Kunk.
Is the thing? They were not that big in real life. They were like
I know.
maybe 10 feet long.
I know. It's Predator X, isn't it? Was the huge one. Yeah.
They just had real big heads.
Yes. There's a Lypeurodon skeleton in York Museum, if I recall correctly. And they are just so much fun to look at, because I can tell my nephews that one's big enough to eat you whole.
Have there been any rumors of exhibits escaping?
No rumours of exhibits escaping at all.
All witnesses are
I
killed.
guarantee you will never hear of an exhibit escaping.
One very, very, very important detail. Who here knows what a mosasaur's jaw looks like?
Are you going to tell us?
It depends. Is it okay for me to tell us, or would I be wasting time?
Go for it.
So mosasaurs are one of the most efficient predators that ever existed. They wiped out most of the other large sea predators at the time. And it was partly down to their jaw, which is... Okay, so most jaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like this.
Yep.
Mosasaurs' jaws are in 4 parts. 2 at the bottom. So the hands, how do hands work? So it can crunch up like that.
Yep.
And then there's an extra palate in the top jaw covered in teeth that can slam down.
Yep.
And they do it like a conveyor belt. They slam it down, they drag the jaw back. They slam it down, they drag the jaw back. It's nightmarish.
Excellent.
It's
I
brilliant.
hope that's in this game now.
It is.
Yes.
I take it dinosaurs are your thing, pal.
It's called the Capacosaurus,
Dinosaurs
right?
are how I got into zoology. Because there's none left for me to study.
Yes.
And paleontology is kind of boring.
Yes. Okay, so disembarking from this morning's plane ride. Starting with Chrono. Just introduce your character as they appear.
Good day. I'm Chrono Magistrate, and I'm
gonna
playing
cry.
Ricky Campbell.
I'm already going to cry.
My attempts at an Australian accent will probably dip in and out as I try and find the right voice. But Ricky is dressed
That's
basically like your entitled douche. He really does. He's so you were talking like designer polo shirt, linen suit, a cap. Everything is like smart and crisp, and he's draped with a large a large camera case, and a satchel, which has his note. If you've been talking to him on the plane, he has introduced himself as an insurance assessor from the reinsurance syndicate behind this HAL syndicate.
Okay. Moving round to Jick. Hello,
Although I
Jick.
had to leave my private jet behind.
Yes, you did.
I am playing Frank Heap, who is an author, a very successful author, especially now he's been vilified. All of his books on paleooccultism have been proven true, and he's glad to take his second cousin, following the tragic loss of his cousin and her wife.
Okay.
And which one? And following their tragic
The
loss,
extreme
is now taken
Christians
into
and her wife.
a new park, just to try and help the little boy. Bless him, because he's not in a good way. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Okay.
My butler AJ looks after him, so it's all good.
AJ, otherwise known as victim number 1. Fishy, would you like to introduce the saintly little child?
Billy. I'm Fishy, and I am playing Billy. Billy is Frank's ward now, since the untimely removal of his parental unit. Billy doesn't really want to be on this island, and I apologise, by the way, for the accent. I have a very limited number of accents which I can do, and none of them bear any relation to any real-world accent that you may encounter in your everyday life. But Billy looks like the littlest Mormon. But with the major difference being I have met some Mormons, and they're often lovely people. Billy is not. He is a bigoted... Think of the worst extremist Christians and then go a bit further.
Right.
It's absolutely the worst of the worst. And this place is clearly Satan's theme park. He does not want to be.
Any Christian viewership, none of our views, none of us endorse this character.
But bear in mind, this is the worst of the worst. This is not just a Christian. My family are all Christians. I know some lovely people who are all Christians. I personally am not one, but I'm a lovely person or a Christian. But yeah, no, that's not what Billy is, though.
Billy
Billy
grew
is
up
a
in a
nut job.
double-wide trailer in the middle of nowhere.
Every group has its outliers, and Billy is one of those.
Billy was crafted for us to trip as we're running away.
Yes. Billy was crafted
This is
to
an
trip you
exercise
up.
in can I make the audience cheer when a 12-year-old child is eaten by a dinosaur?
Yes. It's not that hard.
And for those of you who've seen Lost in Space, yes.
Is that what was given you in your note? That is a player mission. Make us all cheer when he gets eaten by a dino.
That was implicit. Okay. So, finally, Robinson,
Yeah, me.
give us what you got.
Okay, so I'm Robinson. I'm going to be playing Cameron, who is a bit of an adventurous, with quotation marks. he's used to both living the high life thanks to his wealthy employers and living the low life by travelling around the world and staying quite away from civilization and any prying eyes in his more illicit interests in the field.
My God, how easy is this group?
There is no nice person.
There are no redeeming factors here at all, are there, really?
What are you expecting when you put this group together?
Workers are fine.
Basically, the nice people are the downtrodden park workers.
Yep.
I tell you,
sounds about right.
just because
This game
Frank
has
is a
already reached
successful
the status
author,
of class warfare.
he's a successful author.
That's warfare!
He has many titles under his name
Yeah.
that he's authored. They are best-selling.
Yep.
And this park epitomises his work.
Okay.
I mean, really, the park should belong to him. He just wasn't in the right place at the right time.
I'm breaking.
He is
broken.
indeed best-selling. He tops every list of non-fiction paleo-occultism. Every one of them.
I am the world's #1 expert in paleo-occultism.
Yep. Cannot deny that. Not a big field. Not particularly deep either. But here's
It's fine though, because for the low price of $19.99, you can buy my book, Paleo-Occultism: An Idiot's Guide, and you'll be able to understand everything in there. Or if you want to know a bit more, there's the week-long version, Paleo-Occultism in a Week.
This is going to be one of those groups that becomes a party split because classism.
Yep. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm not watching my scenario slip away from me in any way, shape, or form.
When somebody walks into
It's a beautiful scenario, and we do appreciate it, Drup.
when somebody walks into a pen with a vicious man-eating dinosaur and it eats them, it will be entirely the dinosaur's fault for not properly appreciating the action that this person has taken in visiting them.
Exactly. Right. For those of you playing,
We'll stick to that story.
yeah. For those of you playing, but less so for the audience because I've taken it down because I quite like to see chat. This is the logo, which is plastered over everything. The export should have been better, but hey, I was in a hurry.
Where am I seeing it?
You are seeing it in... Oh, God, do I have to share it, Fish?
Yep, you got to share it.
If you want people to see it in Fantasy Grounds, you will have to share it with them.
Yeah, gosh.
Right, okay. How do I share that
Radical,
the
but
same...
it might
Do I
just
share
work.
it the same way as I did everything else?
The easiest way to share it, if you want to share with everybody,
Yeah.
just right-click on the image, and on the radial menu, there is a sharing options, which will give you a sub-menu to share.
Oh, gotcha. Share sheet, I assume.
If you want to share with specific people, you can also drag it to their
Yeah.
character portraits. So, if the party is
There we go.
split and people can see certain things.
That's a terrible logo.
It is. It is an objectively terrible logo. It was designed as an objectively terrible logo.
I just want to burn this park down now. I don't care about the notes you gave me about my mission earlier. I just want to burn it all down.
Salt it, leave.
It does indeed. It represents a series of branching arrows running left to right, pointing at the initials in a strange, obscure font standing for JAE, which is, of course, Johansson Angel Energy, and their company slogan, For the World.
No, it's just for the world. It's ... for the world.
For the world, yeah.
Yes, for the world. Which is all completely fine, isn't it? Bounded in a slightly odd-looking circle of cream. It's fine.
So, the
I
logo
will
is
tap.
Don't
essentially
mention cream, it's almost dinner
a
time.
diseased Christmas tree.
I'll tap Billy on the shoulder. Look, Billy, it's an egg.
What?
Okay.
I'm sure he is ecstatic.
Are we going to have the chicken and the egg conversation again? 'Cause I don't think I can stand that.
No,
Ricky,
no, it's fine. Because much like as you believe the chicken, everything here was created.
Ricky pulls out his camera. He's
By
got this quite
definition,
fancy-looking
everything was
DSLR and
created.
just starts snapping a few pics.
Okay. Yep. You are not alone on the flight, by the way. There were about 20 other people in various groups. There is what's clearly a hen party, judging by the sheer number of white leathery wings strapped to the back of young ladies in very, very short pink dresses.
That's not what I thought you was going to say.
Wow.
The wings flap themselves in every little breeze. At least that's what you
And
choose
they
to
also
believe.
whisper XPs.
Barry,
My
once
friend
again.
played that song.
Yep.
Barry once again considers he almost wishes he were involved in substance abuse just to get through this job.
Flappity, 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 flappity. Right. There are also some, quote, spring break types, but judging by the sheer number of designer labels on their carefully ripped jeans and artfully designed, overly tight t-shirts, you're guessing that they're not from the standard sort of, we've saved up and it was this or Mexico. Basically, everybody
I
here
will, of course, pray for them.
bitch.
I will
Okay.
pray for them to go away, mainly.
They
Yes.
basically look like Ricky 10 years younger.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. From what Ricky is presenting now, you can seriously believe that he was the one with both the ring and the pin for whichever fraternity he was in, which was dedicated to beating up those poorer than them. That was their initiation ritual, was going out and slapping poor people.
And whilst nothing
My
could
daddy
actually
told
be
me all
further
about
from the
the
truth
thing.
as far as Ricky is concerned, it's an image he kind of likes to play up. But
Yep. We make no comments about burning £50 notes in front of homeless people, but hey.
no, I may have gone to St Martin's, but
Yeah. Yeah, no, we have faith in you. So, you stare at the 5-sided pyramidical structure, which is the primary resort and hotel. And yes, I do know exactly what I just said. And look around, stretching left and right. You have a monorail which extends out over the sea to the different islets which form the park proper.
I'm guessing the
Can we
mental image that
clarify-
Druck built this in Jurassic World Evolution just to have a mental map.
I am so I'm so wishing I'd had the time
I
this
did
week.
wonder, I must admit, whether she would actually build a park and screenshot it. To give us an idea.
I might do it. I might
If we go for a second
retrospectively.
part, then
It's like, come on, Billy. If we're lucky, we can get to our penthouse and you can see both power stations.
I'm not going on that.
Well, there is a slightly flustered-looking woman with a clipboard who is checking everybody off. And to your left and right, there are large gentlemen in brightly coloured sort of Bermuda shorts and shirt with pistols on underarm holsters. And every other one also has a long arm slung over his back. They are exclusively male. They were all also
beginning to feel at
ex-football
home.
players by the looks of it. They've all got that slightly overweight, but used to be in really good shape and big.
Billy's
Dead
body
bug.
language will be just leaning unconsciously slightly towards the closest armed, badly dressed man because it reminds him of home.
Okay.
I click off a couple of snaps of the security detail.
Yep. They stand there with smiles plastered on their faces, accomplished only through the use of heavy cosmetics or possibly pharmaceuticals. Okay, Spud.
What about 2 toothpicks?
They're not into piercings.
Oh, shame.
I'm guessing this is this will be a little bit more advanced than a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. Yeah, more of a, battery-powered pair. So, you can
Periodically,
either...
by the way, Billy will stop and stamp his foot, staring at the ground as he does so.
Okay. Make me a listen check.
Everyone?
Just Billy.
Okay.
So I missed what that was. You
Listen.
glitched just as you were
Yeah,
trying
make
to
me a
tell
listen
what-
check, please.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
listen,
Plane
check.
is alive.
That's no.
How much did you...
83 out of 40. That's not quite... It's close, but not quite there.
Okay. So that's absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever.
Okay, we're at that point of the voice already. Good, just noting.
Okay, so you
It
can
is an appropriate
either...
check, though, because he is listening for the island to collapse underneath him, because he knows it's man-made and he doesn't trust any of it.
Did you not
He's
know that
not getting on that
man-made?
monorail. That does not look safe.
Oh, the island
Or
wasn't
are you
man-made.
waiting for it to collapse under its own theological instability?
Yep.
Basically, you can either take the monorail, which, in addition to going all the way round the island, does also run parallel to the large walkway, which about a mile or so to the hotel.
That's fine.
Actually, I think Billy's got a good idea here. Rather awkwardly, Frank is going to pull up his socks that are firmly seated in his sandals under his jeans, very, very awkwardly. And go, AJ, grab the bags with you. They've got wheels, and then we'll have a nice trek. to the
Yes, sir.
hotel.
Absolutely, sir. AJ casts a glance at the monorail,
I'm fine
sighs.
if you want to take the heathen monorail. You go ahead. I'm fine with that.
No, come on, Billy. This is a chance for us to bond.
That's what I wanted to say.
Ricky overhearing this, it's like he doesn't actually know whether or not to sympathise with the uncle or the ward more, but he kind of rolls his eyes. And is there anything? So looking around, buildings-wise, sir,
Yep.
is there anything which looks like a security or a science facility from where we are standing?
From where you're standing, there is an overblown hut, an over-engineered hut, which is clearly made of breeze blocks, but looks like it ought to be made of wood. It's got that level of permanency to it. which is where the security detail emerged from. And also the lady with the clipboard.
Yep.
You cannot see any other buildings. Basically, you are water left and right, and then island. And straight ahead of you seems to be the only major built-up area.
Okay.
The woman with the clipboard. Frank's going to approach her. You don't happen to have any bottled water, do you?
She looks at you, blinks, and then a smile switches on. Bottled water and all facilities are available in your rooms.
Thank you, my dear.
And then basically just stops. Like she's been switched off.
I'm looking around to see, because this is like the security stroke welcoming detail. Is there anything which looks like tourist plans, a map of, like a pamphlet with a map of the island or anything like that here?
As you disembark, the lady with the clipboard, as she ticks each of you off, will hand you effectively a fold-out map.
Okay.
As she speaks, it will be, as part of your full facilities, park maps are available in your rooms. However, these are complimentary. And basically they are fold-out, hand-drawn cartoon style. So you are here. And you've got big dinosaurs, wet dinosaurs, eating dinosaurs, fast dinosaurs, experimental dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds lovely.
Thank you kindly, ma'am. This is also complimentary. I will hand her a pamphlet about how dinosaurs aren't real.
Oh,
And
God.
God created the world.
You're carrying
Every
chick
day.
tracts, aren't you?
Oh.
He is he is basically carrying the equivalent of Jack Chick tracks on him.
I'm just going to stop a second and wait for this deja vu of Brunhilde to go away.
When
Short, handing out pamphlets.
I
Yeah.
thought Brunhilde was awful to begin with.
when
So what we need to do is make sure that he loses an arm at some point in the adventure.
Yep.
when she was checking our names off, did she make any kind of like registration or such with regards to me? Yeah. Because ostensibly I should be there, like in official capacity, effectively.
No. No, she literally was largely just checking people off based
Yeah.
on...
So like
sight.
like my hand was halfway into my pocket for my papers, and then it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
No. Make me a spot check. A spot hidden.
Spot hidden.
Or not.
Huh? Wow! I have spot hidden 95,
Wow.
and I got 100.
Wow.
Also, isn't 100 a crit fail?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Hey,
No,
this is
I
Call of
think this game
Cthulhu,
situation has
bro.
crit fails, but not much.
In his arrogance, he completely
You
misses
want
the
to
obvious.
fail spot hidden. You want to fail spot hidden.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about this.
I think
Yeah,
on a
you're-
natural 100 on spot hidden, you actually see something. That's the problem.
My very first roll, and it's wow.
Okay, you try and catch a glimpse of what's actually written on her clipboard, and unfortunately, because whether it's the angle, whether it's the sun in your face, whether it was just you had to rotate just a little bit more than you would normally, you unfortunately catch a glimpse straight down her cleavage, and
Nice.
unfortunately, noticeably.
I blush. And immediately avert my head.
Okay.
How obvious is this?
He doesn't have a guilty conscience.
With 100.
I-
That's low end guy on the bus level.
I'm
That's
going to jostle.
Well- I start blusteringly talking, but it is actually just performative.
fair enough. Yeah, I think his embarrassment level is probably far higher than anything she can make him feel.
Yeah, well,
Billy has
it's also going to
actually
be
just...
faked as well,
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
Yeah.
He's trying to
Clearly
style
has
it out.
actually
Yeah.
just slightly taken a liking to Ricky, or less of a disliking to Ricky, on the basis that he has just demonstrated the correct reaction to an impure thought.
Meanwhile, Frank is going to nudge Ricky with his elbow and hurt you, filthy bugger.
Ricky actually just shoots you the filthiest look.
Ricky actually just shoots you.
And Ricky has no firearm skill. He's not.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he didn't bring a gun with him.
There are no tourist guns allowed on the island. This is for your own safety because some of the exhibits are attracted to loud noises.
I unfortunately did not have the skill points for my father to have taught me to shoot anyway.
Fair enough. How about your mother?
Well, no, the two of them would have been my father who taught me to shoot, definitely. We've established that for reasons,
Yeah, good point.
my mother was English.
Yeah, good point.
I've got the same excuse, actually, thinking about it, that I had with Midas in Crimson Skies, that my parents are transatlantic, and therefore if my accent sounds weird, and too much like it might be being said by an Englishman, there's a reason.
Because you're an Englishman?
I can't
That would be
believe
it,
you rolled 100. It's your
First
bloody
half
means
the
to
game,
go
this
on.
is already a good sign.
To be fair, like I believe that is my highest skill.
I know. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, how?
I'd just like to say thank you, Chrono, because maybe I'll actually make decent rolls this time around, and you've stolen my karma from stupid fantasy grounds.
You are more than welcome, Sean. If
Oh,
I can take that.
Beatrice's spot hidden.
It's obviously down to die types. If we were using D20s, Shard, you'd be in trouble.
Right.
Let's see about
Okay.
that. Yep.
See? There you go.
For the,
For those of you at home who can't see Fantasy Grounds, that was a 2.
Yep. Right, so you are hustled either onto the monorail.
It's Facebook again. Try to come.
By Facebook, apparently.
Apparently,
But the
yeah.
person who
I
thought
didn't
she'd
think we
already
could get
put
a
this on
signal out
mute.
here.
Yeah.
And they wonder why the dinosaurs escaped. Because
Yeah.
the admin can't keep things held together properly.
There
Thanks.
is indeed no phone signal. There is Wi-Fi, but it's secured.
They can build dinosaurs. They can make an artificial island, but they can't actually put up a cell tower.
Well, does the island pop up by itself?
The core of the island did. The volcanic eruption that put enough rock to build on top of did. However, the
It was
actual
described as an artificial
Yeah.
island built after the volcanic eruptions effectively created some sort of low-lying or just below the surface ground to work from, is the way I saw it.
Yep. Right, okay, so you can progress and we will take you straight to the entrance hall. Unfortunately, oh sorry.
as we're on the monorail heading to the hotel, obviously, I'd say there's no cell phone reception. I'm just looking around for anything that looks vaguely like communications towers that are like local communications towers. Because presumably they have things to boost their own either walkie-talkies or there is a local area network for.
Oh, sorry, that is adorable.
This is not adorable. This is murder. He's constantly trying to kill me.
I know exactly that tone.
It's a very lackluster murder attempt.
It's kind of the most relaxed murder ever. Okay, make me a spot hidden, please, and let's see if you can not
Shard
roll
has the only
200.
cat in the world trained in Reiki.
Well, that's better. 25.
That's more like it. Right, yes. Along the sides of the walkway, and also as you approach, you can see that the white outline of the central resort is not as pristine as it looks from a mile away. You can see antenna towers at various points around the pyramid structure. and one large spike thrusting skywards right at the top.
Okay. From the hotel building.
From the hotel building, yeah.
Okay. The other thing I'll be looking out for are, security for basically other buildings which may look like security stroke research labs.
Okay. Not on this run, because this is basically just a highway, effectively, out to the seaplane.
To cover it, I will be using my camera with telescopic lens. To
Right.
document.
Okay. On the telescopic front, then, I will give you to the left, which, according to your crappy map, is paddock 1.
Yep.
You can see the monorail station from here, because it's not actually that far. But next to the monorail station, you can see a white, slick-looking building. And you get a glimpse of people heading in and out of that.
Sure.
But it's definitely not tourist. All the tourists are being taken elsewhere. But it's not that. You know, it's something seen on zoom through lens.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to make you roll again, because that's just terrifying. So, 100, really?
Well,
I guess.
Okay, well, it's starting me to go on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lady with the clipboard, who has not introduced herself and does not wear a name badge, sits at the front of the monorail with her hands in her lap and the clipboard balanced on her knee, and doesn't appear to move or even glance in the direction of the guests at any point. So we will smash cut to the people in the monorail having to hang out in the hotel, well, in the resort lobby.
There was no grand gate.
No.
I'm disappointed. Park rating 0 out of 10.
110 would get 110% would get eaten again.
Yeah, let's just log on to TripAdvisor. Oh wait.
Yes. What are you gonna do? Okay, so you enter the monorail stop at the far end, all hop off, and lady with the clipboard rechecks you all, despite the fact that she was on the monorail with you. Waiting in the lobby is an apparent 7-foot tentacle-faced velociraptor.
And we immediately all lose 1 sand point.
No.
It opens its mouth and wiggles its tentacles at you and growls.
Well,
Is it holographic or animatronic?
Neither. It's Stan Winston Studios time.
It's biomechanical.
Yes.
It's a person inside
Yes.
the costume.
Yes. Anybody making a spot hidden can see a face in the back of the throat of the velociraptor peering out through the mouth with a look of
kill it.
Yeah,
I
with a
feel
look of
disappointed because Fishy isn't here, but his reaction would be the best.
with a look of existential horror on its face. Also, the velociraptor is wearing a full, fluffy velvet with faux fur trim Santa costume with fake pot belly and hood which comes up almost to the eyes of the costume.
I'd say good day, mate, but I don't think it'd be appreciated.
So, Shard, you are on meet and greet duty, and a group pile off the monorail, but Marina, who you happen to know is running entry this week, which is the lady with the clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh dear, sorry, Spud. Hustles over and says, with a bright smile,
I literally bought it today.
"Oh no! Oh dear."
Rip me.
Yes. Walks over to you and bobbles over. Let's be honest here, in unfeasible heels, and says, "Some of them wanted to take a walk. So we're going to have to wait here until they all get here because I cannot hand over to you until all of the guests are here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Wonderful.
You know what? I can watch them for you if you'd like to go without. You brought them here, it's fine.
Make me a persuasion check. Or a fast talk, depending on which is better. And everybody treasure the image of an
Wait, wrong one.
Okay.
I gotta roll from the character sheet.
Yeah.
Skill.
Everybody treasure the image of a velociraptor with face tendrils, fast talking. What is essentially a clipboard booth babe?
Ooh.
Can I go with that first roll?
I'm starting to think Fantasy Grounds is rigged.
Apparently, she flusters me, and I can't get the words out, and I just stutter at
Yep.
her.
Shard, transatlantic high five.
Okay. She looks at you critically as you make the offer and says, oh god, it's Jim. It's Barry, isn't it? No, it's Jim.
No, I'm Barry.
Yeah, it's alright.
That's Jim.
It's not my fault. You guys look the same. You've literally got the same portrait.
There's only so many avatar options.
I know. This is why I sent Robinson off to the fantasy characters. Jim, are you flooding with me because that is against employee procedure?
No.
And then she
How
lays
did that
one
help
arm.
you?
And then she lays one hand on your arm, which is about roughly where your hand comes in the joint of the velociraptor arm. Pats it and says, "Because you know I have a boyfriend."
I didn't.
I know it's a disappointment to you.
No. Oh my
And I
God.
understand I am extremely physically
Around
attractive.
the vicinity to watch the train
This
wreck
is
occur.
so painful to watch. Someone is consoling a
Can I see
velociraptor
this
for a
happen?
failed third attempt.
But I do understand that it
How
can
close
be
to the rail
precious.
is she?
Fortunately, you are in the lobby of the resort.
You will not yeet this woman off the railing.
Not just yet. I'm saving her for later.
Wait, how strong is the animatronics on the jaws of my costume?
You're trying to bite her head off.
It's a FNAF situation.
Well, the animatronics on the jaws are non-existent. Basically, your jaw just bobs. It's on.
Oh,
it's
it's
on
the
rubber.
tentacles that are
But the
animatronics?
tentacles, yes, the tentacular beard
Dude.
is on. It's not powerful, but you could probably tickle somebody with them.
I'm gonna grab my little Santa bag with the handouts for the guests and just wander away from her to start handing them to
Yep.
everyone who is here and not being stupid and walking that far.
Everybody else can see Marina look at Jim, as she is called the Velociraptor, and she's gone, it's sad. It really is sad. Never mind.
Never mind the dinosaurs. I've been making sand checks just speaking to her.
The thing is, this is based on someone I spent a term at college with.
Oh,
I know this
no.
kind of person. I do.
She used
This
to
is
race.
why I wanted to know if there was a rail behind her.
She used to race ostriches when she lived in South Africa. And then she
Oh.
moved to America, and then she moved to the UK. But yeah, she used to do ostrich racing. Just think of in that terms of the extreme privilege.
I just think ostrich racing is a ridiculous idea. You're never going to beat one.
The this park hosts velociraptor races.
Oh god. I love Marina. I am looking forward to killing her horribly.
In that case, I hope you don't love any of our characters quite so
I
equally
may have to
strongly.
write to Sirenscape and complain because
Yeah?
I don't have a badumts.
Badumts.
They need to add that.
Poor Poor
Well, when you do
Alexia.
that, just tell them you know a drummer that would happily record it for them, so they get their
Yep.
own custom one.
Yeah.
There's no cell signal, but do park employees have communication between park
Yeah,
employees?
you've actually got a walkie-talkie built into your headpiece.
As I'm wandering off to get the bag, I call. Hey, Barry,
Hey,
are you available?
how's the next batch of...
That's an existential. Yeah, whatever.
Do we own anything that can murder said someone who we've dealt with before?
Probably, but...
Okay. There is
What do you need, buddy? What happened? How bad are they?
I think they're threatening to turn me into HR. And then they called me sad because miscommunication, I think.
Oh, wait, not the guest for once. That's
No!
There's a whole backstory developing here as to what exactly Jim gets up to with the guest while he's in costume.
That's one of the wonderful things about one-shots, is you could do that whole
Yeah.
improv, go wherever the hell you want with it. And in one-shots, that's fine. It completely kills a campaign, but it's brilliant in one-shots.
It doesn't kill a
I am-
campaign.
I am also saying,
We can.
in advance, I apologise if this runs over this session.
It's almost certain to.
Every time.
I
That
apologise.
apologises when this runs over this session.
It's my fault entirely for not having better control over what we laughingly call the story. There is a story
Or
there.
indeed,
I don't know
seven
if there are
unruly players.
jeeps on this island, but if so, I'm guessing the session is not the only thing that's going to be run over.
Oh, there are jeeps, yeah. There are
Excellent,
actually.
we need
it's,
jeeps.
It's less jeeps and more armed segways.
Hopefully,
this-
more
I'll have
NPCs
you know
than
I have a
PCs.
driving skill of 50.
I'll have you know that there's no flaming cars on the island. So, but yes, combat
Oh, who was
segways are a
it?
I
thing.
have drive Segway.
Yes. Right. So after 15 minutes or so,
Oh, we're not allowed to have a conversation just bitching about our fellow workers. We're just
yeah.
making up on the spot, okay?
you can have.
Do you remember that one time that Marina, told you off in front of our bosses, and then you got written up?
Yeah, I still don't think she realizes I'm gay.
Ugh.
Okay, so yeah, you can have this back and forth, and as you head, I assume, up towards the lobby on the grounds
This is
that
when they
Yeah,
find
they're
out
just
they're on the
complaining.
public
They're just
communication
really
channel.
bitterly complaining about Marina.
Especially the long button that goes out of the tannoy.
I would just like to point out, by the way, that in order to access your comms, Shard, Jim has got to stick his finger into the ear hole. So you've actually got to do the full TV football commentator. I'm getting a new result through.
And I just wiggle my head to make the jaw jump up and down for everyone to watch.
Yeah. Yes, in order to sever the thread, you either pull your finger out or you just headbang, and that snaps the jaws shut temporarily. And that actually cuts off the comms. It's not supposed to. It's just it shorts out the
Drunk do you think Jim and Barry were when they found that little fact out?
It just, if you headbang, the jaws bounce up, lock together temporarily until you actually pry them apart again. And that shorts out the comms in the air. If dinosaurs had ears. So
let me get this straight. Shard's putting his finger to his ear to make the comms work.
Yep.
His hand only goes to the elbow joint of the arms of the...
yes, he is doing it with the costume.
So he's got the elbow at his ear, and the hand's kind of flapping around in the breeze.
That's kind of fun, isn't it? Was it though?
It's the weirdest
How
form of the teapot dance. That...
Yep.
I think in the movie version of this,
Can I
Charles'
roll
character was played by
entertaining?
Jim Carrey.
Is there an entertainment skill?
I believe there's a performance.
Oh, performance.
don't know that there
I
is,
don't
actually.
think it'd be art.
It would,
There
yeah.
there are a lot of missing skills
Yeah.
in Call of Cthulhu because normal groups don't use them.
Yeah, it would be art.
We are far from normal.
Yes. It would be an art skill.
Oh, well, that's sad. My art skill is in oil paint. Classic oil painting.
Oh, I'm really feeling for your Jim here.
I love these guys. I love these guys a lot. So yeah, Barry can wander into the lobby.
It's almost a they're up for the grace of God, go high all situation. It sounds like we've actually got a very similar skill set.
It is. Okay. So
One of you
basically,
ends up as a mall Santa raptor.
yep. Yes, there are shops around the outside of the lobby. There are very few humans manning these shops. There's an awful lot of kiosks with self-scan tills.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say there's an awful lot of like raptor costumes.
No, there is only one decent raptor costume, and you're wearing it.
The others, the ones that are in the gift shop are like just that foam padding with a plastic mask.
Yep. With the built-in extender grips, so you squeeze it and the claws shoot out. But no, you've got the burger bar, and you've got the gift shop, and you've got the shop exclusively devoted to animated hats, with little waving dinosaurs and snoods with tentacles around the rim, that sort of thing.
Wow.
Because it's nearly Christmas, but you're also in Polynesia. And therefore the weather is not conducive. By the way, Shard, would you like to make me a 5x con roll, please?
Sure.
I tell you, I do not want to know what Santa's elves look like in this.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's like how much culturally insensitive material can we see here?
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: you weren't necessarily expecting a
Tasteful.
Stegosaurus, but instead of the plates on the back, so not on the back, on the spikes on the Thagomizer, they actually aren't spikes. They are tentacles, and around them you have Hawaiian-style leis.
Right.
Yeah, I was half expecting a night gaunt in a sarong, I've got to say.
Are you saying the Stegosaurus doesn't actually have plates on its back, or are we just talking about the
No, it's
spikes
just
on
the
its tail?
Thagomizer
It's actually less
separated.
scary without the Thagomizer.
Sorry?
Thagomizer.
Less scary without the Thagomizer.
Yes, I know. Yep. But
Thagomizer is an
that
amazing
is
word.
yes, that was created, if I recall, exclusively to name what that was.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a
From
name that
Far
was created in the Far Side comics, and then they decided that was what the name was going to be of those.
Yeah, yeah. The
Gary
plates.
Larson created that
Wait,
name.
did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
It's from a comic strip.
Yeah. The plates.
Oh.
By the way, the plates on the back of this animatronic Stegosaurus, which walks like this, largely in place, occasionally shuffling forwards, and then you hear a beep like when a Roomba goes into a wall, and it goes backwards a couple of paces. The actual plates are hollow glass, but obviously there's some kind of internal heat because they've got wax mixed in with the water. So basically, each of the plates on the back of this
no.
Stegosaurus are lava lamps.
That's kind of cool, though.
So I rolled a 63 out of 75 for my.
This is one of the coolest
Okay,
things.
you're all right then. Okay. Yeah, this park is an interesting mix of really high class and let's put the cheapest shit in for tourist trapitis.
Well,
Those-
expensive tourist trap.
Yeah.
It's,
Yes, cheap for them, expensive for you. Those are anyone's been to the National Trust shop recently can really get the gist. £15 for a
National Trust. That's not a phrase you're going to hear a lot in the UK.
yeah. So,
Right.
yes, those of you who've been here a while, i.e. the park workers, know that the shops and the sort of shopping complex only really went in recently. Prior to that, they had kind of a Sky Mall set up where the various corporate clients could order off the intranet in their rooms and have things brought to them in the way of designer clothes, excessively good meals.
Yeah, like I'm still expecting that there is a sub mall basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is kind of the crap bit. But it's still expensive. So yeah, after about 15 minutes, Barry enters the lobby. Or has entered the lobby already. And if need be, can help unjam the incredibly hot, burning battery that is currently attempting to melt its way into Shard's lower jaw. Ooh. And help him unhook that. And after another couple of minutes, Frank, AJ, and Billy. My brain just melted on me. Emerge through the huge doors, triggering the same sting of music as you all did over the tannoy. With welcome
I
to
wasn't
the
here for the
park.
sting. What was the sting?
I didn't actually tell you what the sting was, but the sting is essentially
Music.
it's kind of lift music version of the Welcome to Jurassic Park music played on 3 kazoos and a bass guitar. Do you remember that really dodgy No Man's Sky thing?
The No Man's Sky video, yes.
Yes.
I was just going to get the link to that and stick it in chat.
Yep. Yeah, that's essentially what it sounded like, with a really heavy bass riff.
Okay. As we're entering, I'm going to be a bit distracted here.
Okay.
Could I have a roll? Because obviously I've now noticed kind of roughly the layout of the island, as well as obviously where we are now. Can I roll a cult to see if that holds any significance?
You can.
Archipelago.
Is it in the shape of a yellow sign?
We're in a man archipelago.
Well, there are 5 islands, so it could be a pentagram.
Alexia wants the link.
Give me a minute.
Obviously,
Okay.
we are here for Alexia's bidding.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
That's the
obviously,
audience. That's the point.
we'll
Our
make it.
purpose here.
I don't wish to worry anyone, but I'm at the behest of chat. You know, obviously for
I
the
mean,
order
normally,
of the dice.
in a campaign game, no.
Alexia, demand
no offense,
that
audience.
Barry survive.
Yeah, no offense, audience, but in a campaign game, you can go whistle. We're playing the game, and that's the important thing. This is not. This is a Christmas special one-shot.
Yeah.
Feel free to make demands as much as you like.
Who do you want to see voted off the island?
Yeah.
Yeeted off the island.
Voted or booted?
Yeah.
Voted off the island and into a dinosaur.
Voted off the island sounds like the nicest way to
Yeah,
leave, to be
exactly.
honest.
That's why I rephrased it.
Yeah. Okay. So, ow.
How interesting.
That was
Yes, that was 11, which was
Yes.
a bit on the good side. You are not rolling 100 on your best skill. So, combined with the flyover on the seaplane and what you've seen left and right as you come in, you
And the fact that you
think-
looked up the ley lines before you came here.
and the fact that, yes, you looked up the ley lines. You are aware that either this place between the monorail circuit and the selection of 5 islands either forms a really convincing pentagram completely by accident, or somebody did it deliberately.
And is that something a certain ring would be interested in?
It's definitely something a certain ring would be
Okay.
interested in.
I will make a mental note of this.
Okay?
Pentagrams are so gauche. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the landscape zodiac, and if if Frank starts talking about landscape zodiacs, I am going to stop.
Yes.
I'm not mentioning a word of it because if a certain second cousin of mine discovers and realises the shape of what they're on,
Yeah.
I can imagine a tantrum.
Billy's going to be there making the homemade explosives.
It's gonna be like,
I'm not convinced he isn't anyway.
I already believe this place to be created entirely by the servants of Satan.
I don't want to affirm that belief any further.
I do not need proof. I'm already well aware.
Wait a minute. If you believe that, then why the heck are you here?
I was not given a choice.
12 years old. You go where you're taken. Let's face it. Okay.
Uncle Frank insisted, and AJ has training in jiu-jitsu of some kind.
Right, AJ heads off, talks to Marina, and she points rather dismissively off to one side. And he returns and said, Sir, I will be taking the luggage up to your suite.
Oh yes, yes,
God,
thank
we
you,
got
Rachel.
taking Airwood with us?
On this island, you make jokes like that.
It's awesome.
Do you really want to go there? So,
Oh, hang on. Does that mean there are mimics?
there might.
So thank you, AJ. Once you've dropped off the luggage and you've settled into your room, feel free to have a tour, and I will catch up with you this evening.
Thanks, sir.
Are we going to deal with camouflage carnosaurs?
Chameleonic abilities are so last year.
Does the GM making notes for chameleonic dinosaurs?
Oh, no. Invisible dinosaurs.
There is
Since
there
we
is actually
are here,
Wait, invisible dinosaurs!
there is
Sorry?
an alien in one of the books book series that I read.
Yeah.
There are alien dinosaurs that are used as predators for one of the alien races to hunt because they're a strong hunt, and they are almost the size of a brontosaur. They're carnivores, and their skin bends light around it.
Hey, dinosaurs
It's not,
look
it's not
like
chameleon. It is.
cloaking device.
which series is this? I need to read these.
The first book in it is Columbus Day, but you won't get to the dinosaur thing until I think Spec Ops or Black Ops.
Noted. Okay.
A genuine question Barry has asked at some point. Why
Okay.
the hell are we showcasing invisible dinosaurs?
Well, you're not.
Actually, yeah, why?
They're invisible.
Well, you know I said that there was an experimental park. Experimental paddock. Basically, the invisible dinosaurs are on there. The reason the invisible dinosaurs are on there is because then they know where they are.
What's the point of an invisible dinosaur?
Well,
Park!
the invisible dinosaurs, they're a really nice line in, you know, watching footprints just drop away into sand. And with the thudding. But, no, several of the dinosaurs have...
That could look cool.
they've got a layer of sand, which periodically gets replaced by maintenance.
Oh,
So,
the poor souls
Uncle
who have to
Frank-
go in there to put sand next to invisible dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I
obviously,
am one of those poor souls.
and every time you've been in there, the dinosaurs have been safely corralled away, initially by some of the trainers.
I'm sure they've got them all.
And, they are almost certain that they get every single one into that corral before they let the maintenance in.
I'm guessing that they probably are using like infrared thermal vision goggles because they're probably not invisible to thermal sight.
No, those are too expensive. They're using acceptable losses.
Right.
They roll the dice.
Minimum
every time.
wage park workers are far cheaper than thermal goggles.
And easier to replace.
Yep.
Absolutely.
This park is just unfettered evil capitalism with
It is.
Cthulhu dinosaurs.
It has been affected by the election results after all.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, look, Billy, it's a Santa Raptor.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have no words.
Yeah, Jim. There's
Go on.
there's a small boy staring up at you with a look of absolute shock and horror. What are you doing?
I was going to ask which of the blasphemous products of heathen science we were going to see first, but now I have my answer.
Right. Okay. So you are escorted up to your rooms. Barry is in the lead and has room numbers.
Barry is. Am I here now?
Sorry, Jim is there escorting, but Barry indeed can tag along if he wishes.
No, Barry's got to go down to mechanical.
Okay.
As we start off, Billy will quietly but loudly enough to be heard by Jim, isn't it? Say, if you even attempt to talk to me, I will scream Peter Pile.
Good lord!
Come on, Billy.
Wow.
I
let's
turn
be nice.
to the small child that just said that, and then I hit the button for the roar effect. And then I turn away.
Yep. Yes, a combination of Chewbacca shagging a chicken emerges from your sound chip.
That was an analogy.
And yet somehow everybody knows exactly what they would be listening to.
Oh god. I get the feeling Barry's going to get another call from Jim in a minute. God, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's not
Yea,
actually
though
supposed
I
to sound
walk
like
through the
that.
valley of the shadow of science, I shall fear no dinosaurs.
It is actually supposed to sound more bassy and less chickeny. So yeah, it's like the internal battery there, which is a separate battery to the one that powers the animatronics.
But
I'm gonna catch on fire.
Damaged.
You can feel the sound pack in your chest getting warm, but it's hard to tell under the layers of rubber and plastic and fur.
They're trying
Sorry
to kill me.
diverge from the game for a second here, but speaking of sound packs, did I see Delenn doing a
Yes.
sound pack?
You did,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Hell yes, gotta buy that one.
yeah. I haven't bought a sound pack in ages. I'm going to have to get that one.
No, likewise, no, because I don't even use voice attack anymore. I'm gonna have to buy the Mirror Furlan HCF sound
I was
pack.
thinking the same.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
anyway, back to the game.
Yeah. Right. So yes, you are escorted by a velociraptor up to your rooms. You will have had the checklist given to you, Barry, or rather shown to you, because of course you can't carry anything.
I can too. I've got little grabby
That's
hands.
Jim!
Oh,
Sorry,
very good.
I apologise. For some reason, I keep calling you. You need better name tags.
You know
That's the
what?
thing.
You know what?
Yep.
The problem is that they don't see us standing side by side often enough, and they get us confused because we hang out
Yeah.
every now and then.
Yeah.
You actually look totally different when you're standing side by side,
Yeah.
don't you? It's blatantly obvious that you're not the same person.
Yeah, what it is at one point when Jim was down with heat stroke, Barry actually filled in for him in the suit and nobody noticed.
The really weird thing about that is that Jim's actually 4 inches taller.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, did you have your headset on when you said that? Can you hear that? Did you hear that?
I could hear you, but I didn't hear what was just said.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, when Jim was off sick with heat stroke, at one point, Barry filled in for him in the costume,
Wow. Yes.
and nobody noticed.
And this is why you get confused by our bosses
Yeah.
with me.
They do look remarkably similar.
Nothing at all
Yeah.
remotely alike.
So,
You can look similar and
They're
be
actually twins
foreign.
separated at birth.
They do joke about that.
yes,
They do joke that they're twins separated at birth.
yeah. Adopted by different families on different sides of the world.
And I
Brought
wonder how
together
the
in
one relates
hell.
to Billy.
Yeah. Right, okay. So, after you're delivered to your rooms, you can settle into your suites. The penthouse does have an excellent view of 2 power stations and all 5 branches of the park.
My dreams are complete.
You can see the monorail moving around, and in the distance you can see people getting on and off it. So there are other tourists on the island. It's just that, they aren't around you. They're all in their own little
Congratulations,
bubbles.
Uncle Frank. You have never shown me so much blasphemy in one place at one time.
Wait, okay, Billy, because you've got your own room.
Yeah, that's what every 12-year-old wants.
So why not go and set up an altar in your room? Does that sound good?
They're not
Billy
pentagonal.
will throw him a withering stare and then stomp off to his room.
Oh, Billy, wait. Because when he goes to where his luggage has been left, and he pulls out a little statue of Mary and goes, I thought I'd best bring this with me for you.
That reaction is not in character.
Just how many cultural references, how many cultural holy cows are we going to run down with a
You have
jeep?
definitely just created a door slam as he leaves.
A single tear falls down Frank's eyes. He's really trying to make an effort.
What's quite impressive is every door has a self-close mechanism, which
And
you
he
have
slams
just
it anyway.
you just have blown the valve on the self-closer.
Actually, I don't know. He may not be able to slam it. He's not technically a teenager yet.
Make me a 5-time strength check and let's see.
Is this something that I'm
He's
witnessing?
actually not bad on strength. He's got a 10 strength, so he's on 50% chance here.
Is this something
And
that I'm witnessing?
38
Am I
does
witnessing
it?
this?
Yes.
You can, yes, because the doors are basically standing open until the clients close them.
Billy, I have ascertained, is not the smallest 12-year-old child in
No.
the world. He is, although his strength is only 10, his size is 12, which, under the rules of this system, means I think he's about 160 pounds.
Yep.
160 pounds.
Yeah.
So for somebody who is 5'4", he put his weight behind that, I think.
And see, this is why Frank was trying to build bridges.
Yes, Billy is in fact an absolute unit. As they say.
Mr. Dupree, I'm gonna please try to keep your child in line. I'm gonna have to have someone come up here and fix that door now.
I'll cover the cost. It's fine.
Okay.
There's someone who thinks
When
money
you get a
can solve
moment, by all
everything.
means, contact management for me, and please arrange us to have a little chinwag.
A what?
A discussion.
That has a completely different meaning on this island. You realise that?
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind going and get in touch with management, I know it must be rather deplorable in the get-up, but if you send them over to me, then we'll have a little discussion and we'll work something out.
Great.
Okay.
That will make my day. Who's my manager?
Your manager is Mr. Carter.
Okay, thank you. I didn't correct your name. Thank you. Blinking back at me. Say, and your name is.
I am hotel staff number 77.
Oh, good call. Excellent. Yes, your line
good job.
manager is Mr. Barclay Carter.
Barty Carter?
Barclay.
Barty.
Sorry, I think there's that Barky. The
Yes.
dog for dogs by dogs.
Yes, your line manager is Mr. Barclay Carter, and not Carter Barclay. Fish.
And not Carter Barkley.
No.
That is a nice little callback, though. Thank you very much for that one.
You are welcome. So that's that. So,
Does anyone else have any family drama as they're taken to their rooms?
No.
Any more slamming of doors, breaking of things that should be broken on my watch?
Okay, so you can now escort Ricky to his first class suite.
Yep. Ricky enters, and as the depart at the door, I just pat Jim consolingly on the back.
Jim starts shaking as if he's sobbing, but you can't tell because the head just starts bobbing.
I just nod and close the door.
Okay. Next round, moving around the floor.
It's supposed to be a horror game.
Yeah, it is. This is the horror of
No,
customer
this is supposed to be a
service.
Christmas one-shot special. The horror gets outweighed by the Christmas.
Okay, so
How is there
next,
not horror in a broken man being made to break down more?
Plus this is all fairly horrific if looked at from the right viewpoint.
Krychek, by the way,
The
Yes.
horror was inside the
has
costume
an
all along.
order for dinner for 5
Right.
to be presented in the Deinonychus suite.
The what,
Deinonychus?
sorry? The what suite?
The Deinonychus suite.
You're gonna have to write that down for me.
Yeah,
Deinonychus?
I ain't gonna read that.
yeah. The Deinonychus suite. That dining room for this particular tour group is in the suite surrounded by images and the occasional animatronics. These ones actually run.
Okay, that one's done.
Of the toxic dinosaurs.
Is this lot gonna get scared and yeet their goddamn soup across the room again? Like the last lot.
Your manager, who is on the radio to you, you've got video comms down in the kitchens, sighs and says, "Are we going to have another little chat about insulting the guests?"
No, sir.
Good.
I have one very important question. I'm sorry.
Go
What
for it.
year was this set in again?
Now +5.
Oh, it's now +5. Okay, so yeeted is still a word.
No, it's a new word by then.
Yeeted has now drifted into the mainstream instead of simply being
it's now,
internet.
it's now in the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Yeah, it's been added to the Oxford.
It's used on dang it, can't say the word because it's hard to.
Yep.
It made Word of the Year in
Words is
2021.
Yep.
Republican news sites. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Yes, you now have Fox News talking about Democrats being yeeted off bridges.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
So,
still think Fox News was a typo. It's supposed to be a descriptive name, but they typed it wrong.
yeah. Okay. So the meal order comes down. The guests have not yet been asked what they're actually wanting. But the meal order comes down that you're going to be serving a selection of cold cuts, burgers, and looking down, your manager looks and says, "And there is a child, so double up on the hot dogs, please."
Double dogs. Got it.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You
but
taking chili dogs too?
No, I think only the mildest, because we really don't want to offend their palates.
These are dino dogs.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes. So you can indeed start grinding. Please don't kill Drop. Okay. You can
gonna be
indeed
some
start grinding these sides of meat, which have been delivered for today. As said in your note, by the way, meat tends to go off within 24 hours, even
Yep.
when refrigerated. After it comes out of the freezer, it gamey after 12 hours.
It's a
Oh,
very
yeah,
polite
that's
way of
normal.
saying things.
That's the artificial cells breaking down.
I mean, there's been a lot of people that have gone missing. I mean, been promoted up into admin.
Silent Green is dinosaurs. Wait, hang on.
That's where the green comes from. It's the scales.
I know. I'm giving Shard absolute anxiety by describing this in the most awful way possible. Yes. Oh, and yes, something else. Just as a last moment, since there is a child, some form of gelatin-based dessert today. I think.
Jelly deals. Got it.
Nope. As you see fit.
Of course, truth. Governor, I'm not doing that accent. I went Australian.
You're slightly more Australian than Ricky.
Yep. Because I learnt my accent for the East End. I learnt it from watching Mary Poppins, you see. And it's absolutely authentic.
Right, so you're committing dinner down
blimey,
in the
Mary
kitchens.
Yes, committing possibly the greatest crime against culinary artifice
Yeah.
in the kitchens.
Yeah. There are very few staff. There's very few staff per head of customer. There's a lot of automation.
Do we have any small freezers in the kitchens, or is it all sort of the big freezer that the bulk of the meat's stored in? There's no
You
small
do
freezers
have the
as well?
small freezers. You have the fast blast chillers, which are designed to freeze desserts and things because the ambient temperature is higher than it really ought to be.
You mean the Velociraptor traps?
In which case, I will see if I can cook a little extra. So cook for the meal's for 5. I'll see if I can cook for 6, so that I can put something away for myself later. Because if I'm doing a good meal, I might as well do something that I can enjoy it as well.
Okay, so that's you coped with. You're in your room. They're in their rooms. So we come round to Cameron, who is the last to be dropped off at his room by a velociraptor.
I have no words for this experience so far.
Trust me, you will have very interesting reactions riding the monorail across the lake. It'll be great.
I'll trust your word for it and take the monorail later then.
Yeah, the
Leave
monorail.
before they-
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can have fun. They're listening to you anyway.
Okay. In your apartments, obviously the penthouse suite looks out on 2 different aspects. And you can see a lake away from the power stations, which has a curling, twisted, oddly almost animated track running all the way over it. And occasionally you can see a little tiny car with people in just swooping around, somehow upending without going round in a loop. And the surface of the lake is occasionally broken by bubbles, which you can see from about a mile away. On the next one round, you can see huge animals, brontosauruses majestically charging down what look like Indian elephants,
Oh god.
wrapping their necks around them a la boa constrictors, throwing them up in the air and smacking them down with sickening crunches before distending their jaws and absorbing them whole.
If Ricky can see this from his windows, it's it's a raised eyebrow before turning back to.
Yeah, Ricky's got half. He can see part of the Brontosaurus Park from his. What he can also see, however, is it's sort of landscaped in about as soulful as a golf course, with rough, almost looks like sand traps as well. And you can see that this is clearly some kind of attempt at natural landscaping. because you've got a couple of different types of dinosaur in together.
Right.
They're obviously going for some kind of natural population control, because you can see things running along, and they're maybe 7-8 feet. Bipedal dinosaurs look a little bit like duck-billed hadrosaurs.
So hadrosaur types.
Yeah, but they're a bit nippier than you expect, and periodically they leap in the air and almost flatten into a puddle before standing up again. And every time they jump into the air and land, it seems to be to avoid the sand pits. Periodically, they're not fast enough when jumping over the sand pits, and something lashes out from beneath the sand, and grabs a hadrosaur and pulls it down.
Upon seeing one of those, I basically take a step back, and it's like, what have I got myself into? As I turn away and start basically going through my papers,
Okay.
the first thing I want to actually
Question Barry asks himself every day.
the first thing I want to check is: are there any cameras in there?
There are no visible cameras in this room. You can, of course, check with a Wi-Fi detector, which you can get on your phone.
Yes, I will probably have one of those on my phone.
Hell,
Paranoid.
If not, I will have bodged one with like craft security anyway.
given that they encourage you having them if you stay in an Airbnb, it's worth having a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need a skill check or anything?
I would like you to make me... Let's have a spot hidden, because
Sure.
this is to cover all the possible angles.
Sure.
That's more like it.
Yay.
You give the room a thorough sweep and you get not even a ping. The only connection point that you've got is there's clearly a booster box on the wall just inside the door.
Can I tell what it's a booster box for?
You're assuming that this is where Wi-Fi comes in, but it is purely intranet. There is
Right.
no internet. There is a
I tried-
local server.
I tried connecting and I actually looked through like any of the room documentation to see if there's what there is about a local Wi-Fi.
Yes, there is no security, so there's no password.
Yeah.
You literally just key in your room number. And it gives you the crap map,
Yeah.
a slightly better overhead map, and informs you that the paper copies are available. You've yet to find one.
Yeah.
Room service prices, and also who your manager of the day is.
Okay. Is there any
Pardon me.
about us, like about JAE?
Yes, there is essentially the opening spiel I gave,
Yeah.
with animations,
Okay.
explaining how they discovered all these strange and unusual fossils, with images of what you assume to be Mr. Johansson, judging by the coloration of the absolute white blonde hair and piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
So that's an actor. Standing in a tunnel, chipping out what looks like a hunk of black plastic out of the wall, which then proceeds to melt into his hand and around it before he pulls it off like a glove and puts it into a specimen tray.
Okay. So is it basically the same blurb that is available on the on the internet outside of the island?
It is. You don't get the video without outside the internet, outside
Okay.
of the hotels, though.
Is there any list of like key staff?
Yeah, you will have your line manager, duty manager for the day. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry, not hotel staff, like park staff or research staff.
Yes, indeed you can. So you have.
May I interject here regarding the looking of Wi-Fi networks?
Uh-huh.
Because I think whilst this is going on, Frank would be setting up his satellite link. and he's not technologically inclined. So
Ooh,
the
can I?
Wi-Fi that satellite link is giving off,
Yeah.
albeit at probably very poor connection speed, would then be put as a public thing, and it'll be something like Frankie's SL, that kind of silly
Right.
naming.
Okay. Would you like to make me an electronics roll, please?
I'm gonna fail it.
This is to angle
Would
the dish.
Would you like to get AJ to make an electronics roll, please?
Oh, blimey.
But
Okay, you
electronics
failed it,
one.
but yeah, you're not a million miles off where it's supposed to be. But yeah, you are basically now giving satellite Wi-Fi to the top two floors of this side of the hotel.
Do I detect that then when I do my sweep?
It beeps after your sweep. Your phone picks up on the new connection available.
Huh.
New connection available. Dimwit.net.
There was
I
a
will-
plot, I promise.
I will
I don't believe you.
basically. I will hook my phone into it using suitable description. I'm not skilled. I don't have computer use
Okay.
specifically, but I'm presuming I have standard protocols that I have been given and use generally.
Yeah.
For these sorts of things. So I'll just hook my phone in surreptitiously.
Okay.
Which is nice to know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as I say, I'm looking for key staff
Okay.
connected to the research.
Okay, poking around and making use of alleged natural language search engines, you discover that the head of the research department, the research manager, is a Mr. Thomas, and the head researcher proper is a Dr. Pye, P-Y-E.
Okay.
And what you're having for dessert tonight is Thomas Pie.
You're making it very obvious that these people are dino food.
And I presume that these are the key people. I'm guessing that there isn't actually a lot in the way of here is our staff breakdown and things
No.
like that, and here is what our research goes towards. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you've literally got the big print version.
Yeah.
You've got the
corporate
smiling.
sanitized version.
Yeah, you've got the smiling picture of Mr. Thomas there in a very, very smart suit, with hair clearly spray canned on. Suit tailored for when he was maybe half a stone lighter, that sort of thing. Standing next to Dr. Pye, who is a balding man who looks like he would far rather be, anywhere else.
Sure.
Standing there in a pressed white coat over chinos and a determinedly casual-looking denim shirt.
So one guy who, Dr. Pye, obviously looks like a scientist.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas is probably more of an administrator.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Once I have checked the room, made sure. Is there a safe in the room?
There is indeed a room safe. Yes.
Okay. I will make sure that my general papers and such are locked away in the safe.
Okay.
I will have I will take my camera with me and my sketchbooks.
Okay.
And then basically go for a wander.
Right. Okie dokie. So.
Basically, I mean, I'm going to wander the hotel.
Yep.
Checking out making a note that there aren't many staff around.
No.
And basically, I'm going to see if there is actually the under mall below ground level.
Okay.
And start checking it out for doors that look like they go somewhere else.
Right.
So that will
Somewhere
basically
else,
take.
capital S, capital E.
Yes. So basically, that's going to occupy my time between now and dinner.
Okay. I will get back to you on what you find there. So, what is Cameron up to?
Well, since I'm here on official business, it's going to be almost the same as our slightly paranoid friend, but
Which one? You got a grab
slightly
bag.
paranoid friends.
Yeah.
But without all the Wi-Fi checking and all of that malarkey, just straight onto logging in and getting the map and looking through for any sort of convenient trips or tours and such things that would further my goal.
Yes, there is in fact an overnight camp out available.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
You can indeed, from the safety of the hides, you can...
Safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way it's presented is from the safety of our hyper-secure hides, you can
Utterly
sleep
dinosaur-proof
soundly.
canvas.
Yeah. You can sleep soundly whilst watching our local carnivores enjoy their natural dinner.
So sleep under the stars and then become breakfast.
Well, I won't tell you, Night.
Yeah, Ricky asks, "What's for brekkie?" And he
You.
gets a series of pointed looks.
Yeah.
And you never have to worry again.
Yes. So there is the camp out, which is available overnight, or you can do it as a morning tour and sit in the hide watching dinosaurs eat, essentially. You can also take a tour of the tunnels wherein these fossil finds were revealed. So that's exciting. That's guided with headset tour.
Is it actually a headset, or is it one of those things you have to hold up to your ear and look like a total prat?
If anyone's ever
Like you get
managed to...
in,
Yeah.
At this point, they're probably verging on like the Ahura communicator that used to.
Actually, no. I know exactly what this place has got. It's probably one that works through your mobile phone. Even though you can't get a phone signal, you hook to their Wi-Fi, and they're not going to pay out for any hardware. You have to use your mobile phone to listen to it.
Yes.
And if you didn't bring any earbuds, you have to buy their specially branded expensive ones that fail after about half an hour.
Yeah, the ones that they've got the really good charge, they'll last like a week, but then they can never be charged again. Okay, so that's what you're sorting out. It's about midday, early afternoon now after you sort your lives out. Downstairs in maintenance.
Hello.
Downstairs. Barry.
Also, I'm here.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to give everybody equal screen time.
I'm not doing that. It's just. I'm sorry, my character is very cynical and sarcastic. I'm a little bit in his mindset at the moment.
No, that's absolutely fine. So, down in maintenance, you are examining the output from the generators, whirring away with their golden lights and their golden balls going up and down and up and down. As they have been wont to do since you were first employed, but also as you've been noticing more frequently, and this is something that will be noticed by everybody in the entire resort. The balls stutter. That bit isn't noticed. There is almost sparking as the golden orbs almost touch. You don't know how this works, but you know what buttons you need to push in order to reset it.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, you were told something involving magnetic bottles.
Yeah.
So you know if something goes wrong in this direction, you press A, F4,
Not Alt
Yes.
F4, that's different.
Yeah, that's something else altogether. And it will sort its life out. But yes, they judder inexplicably and almost touch. And as they spark together, there is this boom, and the basement goes dark except for the
Very
keyboard.
fed up face with a very fed up facial expression. Punch the buttons in.
To repeat actual technical advice that my co-worker received when I was a much younger man: take the disk out, bang it on the counter, put it back in. If that doesn't work, I don't know.
I can believe it. Was that Tandy?
Is there anyone else
That was
down here?
Tandy, yeah. There's a reason Tandy went bust.
Is there anybody else down here? Would you like to make me a listen check, please? Because you can't see anybody.
Because it's dark.
But it could be one of the experimental invisible dinosaurs.
Would I chase you around with an experimental invisible
Don't lie
dinosaur?
to me, Drup. No, you would.
Yes, I would. I really would. Yeah, make me a listen check, please.
No, I don't hear shit.
No, unfortunately, the sound of everything powering down and then powering back up as you reset the system obscures your aural field. This happens on, it's not a regular basis. If it was regular, you could time your breaks and you would be there and it would be fine. But it does happen a lot. So temporarily, the ovens go down. The Wi-Fi goes down. Everyone's phone, if they're plugged in, go off charge. And those of you overlooking the park proper, if you're out on the balconies, can see a slightly odd heat haze, which you hadn't realised was present at the outskirts of each paddock, fade and then come back up.
Wait, you're telling me the park fences turn off periodically?
You can't see the fences, though.
Fucking generators.
It's a heat haze because it was powering down, but you can't see the fence.
There are no visible fences.
Yet somehow everything stays in the right areas.
Somehow
Yep.
everything
Right.
stays in the right areas. As you say, you only
visible
realise
fences.
the heat hazes are there when they briefly drop. And it is like less than a second.
Yeah, because less than a second is plenty of time for nothing to get out.
Yeah.
I think we wouldn't be out on the balcony prior because we'd probably be like on, if it's still around Twitter, kind of going, "I was right, I was bloody right. Look at this is amazing." But if we would have been interrupted by then he would go and look out on the balcony.
Okay. Yep. Yes, you're...
Barry is complaining to himself about how you think they'd be able to afford proper generators with all the money they get in and don't spend paying the workers.
Hey Barry, is everything okay?
I'm guessing the generators are geothermal,
Fucking
given the
generator
location.
went down again.
You are free to guess that, Robinson.
Why can't they just set it up to automatically reset itself?
Why can't they just have someone down here checking it? Because, God forbid, they actually spend any of the money they're earning. I mean, what do they spend it on? Invisible dinosaurs.
They spend it on their bonuses.
You know,
You really hung up on the invisible dinosaurs.
on our
He's
next
really
one,
pissed off about the invisible dinosaurs because it makes no sense as an attraction standpoint. It's just dangerous.
well, dangerous, but also you're not seeing anything unless
So
there's
that's
special
me talking
light.
to drop there, but yeah.
Although, actually, I suspect this is an argument they've had before.
Oh yeah, he's definitely had this conversation before, but right then I was just talking to drop.
Not the tentacles. Okay. Barry, you know that
Oh,
somebody...
Panel.
You do know that somebody was hired to spell you on generator maintenance. Because you saw them a few weeks back.
Before they got eaten.
And your shifts kind of overlapped, but you haven't seen them for the last week. And when you queried it with your manager, they simply said that they've been off sick.
Is there an in-room telephone?
There is. There's
I'm
video
going
com.
to lift up the handset and hopefully be put through to reception.
Yeah, it's actually a video com directly inside the door, next to the Wi-Fi point.
Oh, in which case I'll use that.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Hello, how can I help you?
Hi there, I think I've just experienced a drop in power.
If you would like to bear with me, this is an automated service. Our friendly and polite chatbots will be able to service your requirements. Please state, in words of one syllable, clearly spaced, what your difficulty is.
Words of one syllable.
No.
Frank hangs up
Well, that is one syllable.
and he's going to open the door,
Yep.
but still a bit broken, bless it.
Mm-hmm.
Take me to the manager's office.
And he's going to go off to reception.
Oh no, the outside door's fine. It's the one to Billy's bedroom that's buggered.
Okay, I'm sure.
That's one you don't want to say 3 times fast.
I'll shout, look after yourself, Billy. I'm just going to go to the reception.
Why am I now thinking of like a weird version of Heidi High?
Because you've seen the inside of my skull, because that's not a million miles off.
Hey, camper.
Yes. Heidi hi. Yes, that was the most threatening Welsh accent I've heard in a long, long time. Okay. Yes, actually yes.
Where's my mascot? There he is.
Okay. So, I will leave that there briefly. I am going to take a 2-minute comfort break. I would suggest people get up, wander around, because we've been at this 2 hours.
Oh, crikey, Rick.
I would say if there's anybody in the audience who has any questions, but we won't have any answers for you, so why bother?
We have all the
We'll answer as best we can, all those that haven't stretched their legs yet.
Yep. Yeah, it's, basically, yeah. If you can do it in sequence, that's awesome. Just
Sequence.
kill my
Well, I
camera.
had to go and grab a drink, so I'm good. I'll be around.
Okay. Right, back in the mud,
See
guys.
as people fade into
Everyone's gone.
Engage cloaking device.
Shut up! Shut up!
That's it. We're the only ones left. The rest have all become Klingons.
Well,
Now do you believe in science? Now do you believe in
well,
science?
certainly with those Klingons, I now certainly believe in comfort breaks.
If all of those are Klingons, does that mean I get the townhouses to myself?
Yes.
Possibly. I absolutely believe in science, by the way, in the same way that I believe in Satan.
Is that
Being cannot be
literally
evil if
1-to-1?
it does not exist.
I mean,
If
Wait,
it's
wait.
already apparent, Frank does not know how to handle children. Look after yourself, I'll be back. Just
It'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen?
Anyway, knowing how to handle children doesn't help you in the least with Billy.
yeah, I'll just come back to a burned cross. Just oh.
The easiest way to handle Billy is just to wrap him up in bubble wrap. Sit him down in front of a Bible.
I think wrap him up in cellophane, to be honest. Really, really tightly, with no air holes.
Oh, but bless his little cotton socks. He doesn't mean it really.
Yeah.
Obviously, boys will be boys.
Indeed, boys will be boys. Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
I do wonder whether she had anything remotely resembling a plot at any point when we came into this. So I don't think we'll
I'm
ever
not
find
worried
it.
about how we're going to keep everyone together because we're all so different. We're
Probably happened.
inevitably
We've already failed on that one. Don't
inevitably
split
going to
the
go a
party.
different
What
direction.
party? I mean, unless she forces a guided tour on us in the morning.
Well, but that's the reason we were already.
You will all take this tour.
we already split by virtue that some of us were guests and some of us were workers. So we've been split
Yeah,
from the
this is
start.
true.
Yeah.
Fun fact: the guided tour would be run by me, your friendly neighborhood philosopher.
So there you go. That brings one. And if he needs moral support and backup, then that's going to be Barry. I forgot
Yeah.
which is which.
Of course you have.
Just following the rules. You're supposed to forget which is which.
Yep. Though, I'm pretty sure that we probably both also know Alan, but Alan's usually, cooking and being grumpy about cooking.
Hello, Mickey, utterly pointlessly because you've left again swiftly.
So first thing on the to-do list
I'm-
is find a rifle. Gonna need one of those.
I'm now going to do the bugger off dance since other people have come back.
Okay.
So
Yes, I
The
am
own
back.
vernacular, Fishy decided to become a Klingon.
Fishy has cloaked, Drat has decloaked.
Yes, I have. Yes.
This is
Oh
like
god, we're on to predator dinosaurs again already.
this is Klingon chess.
Hmm.
I'm just imagining that now. But like, how would you do decloaking, Royal?
To be fair, it can't be any more difficult than than the rules for tri-dimensional chess, which I have played.
Oh my god.
Have you played four-way chess?
No.
No, what
It is ridiculous.
so have you heard of a variant called exchange chess?
Yeah.
Is that where you exchange your failing army for another country's army?
No, so it's chess. You play in teams of two. One of your team is black on one board and white on the other, and vice versa for your opponent. When your teammate captures a piece of their opponent, they can pass it to you, and you can use a move to put it on your board.
What?
Yeah. So this was something that we used to play at A level quite a bit at lunchtime. So it's a lot of fun. But we did try a 4-player teams of 4 doing this, which was very interesting.
Sounds absurd.
Exchange chess is a lot of fun. It adds a really interesting dimension to it, because it's like you might be trying to play slowly on one board because you want a piece that your teammate can grab.
And the pieces never actually leave the board; they just go to another board.
They can. Obviously, there are rules for where you can put pieces.
Oh, okay.
Like, for example, you can't use a piece that you are applying to the board to put your opponent in check. You can't. I don't think you can put a pawn on the 7th or 8th rank.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, tri-dimensional chess is a lot of fun as well.
Gary, you are
But
a
it is-
disappointment.
But it is weird. It is weird when you can move boards around.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because
No,
there are
there's no need for that.
because there are 2 satellite boards as well
Drop
as
somewhere.
the 3-level boards.
Sorry, Spud, you were
Right,
saying?
somewhere in a parallel reality, Beatrice feels an intense sense of kinship and doesn't know why.
Yes. I've done that.
Wait a minute. Are we both long lost children of Beatrice?
My God!
Oh my god, an AU where Beatrice, in her younger, wild college days, had a couple of kids and had to give them up for adoption because, the medium life is not for everybody. Definitely not.
I like to imagine that Beatrice as one of the first casualties of this park.
Beatrice, no way.
I
Beatrice is
sense a
indestructible.
great danger, literally, as a dinosaur bears down to eat.
Yes, there was a slurp.
I thought it was more of a glorp.
That was a glorp. That was definitely a glorp.
No, Beatrice Visit
You
survives
say how wild you.
survives the
Wait.
time
Yeah.
survives the time at the park and creates the dinosaur tarot.
Yeah.
Oh god. And each tarot card has a little bit of Shaggoth on it. So the cards move themselves around when she's not looking.
Oh.
Hello, Mecky properly. You are
Hey,
missing.
Becky.
You've missed an interesting session so far.
You've missed middle-aged people having breakdowns, and also younger to
It
middle-aged
can't
people
be brothers because
being superior.
Barry is like, in that case, Barry is like 20 years younger than Jim.
Oh no, Jim's not. I think of middle age as between 13 and 55.
I see.
I thought I was bad at judging
course.
ages.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not a judgment. It's an estimation.
Since you missed your spot hidden, Tal.
Jim's only 29, by the way.
Complaining to Jim over the radio.
Yes. You missed your listen and you missed your spot hidden. You are therefore taken. Okay, I'm glad to hear that, Mecky. You are therefore taken largely by surprise when padding around a corner on clicking feet
Yeah.
comes a, well, scaled up, it would be an ankylosaur.
Oh God, run away!
It's
Run
a
the fuck
Mindy.
away!
This
Those
thing's-
things
So
will
if
fuck
it's
you
a
up.
small one, that makes it an ankle biter-saur.
This thing is about 10 feet long, start to finish.
Do you know what, if I die after I've had only one character scene, I'm going to be very unimpressed.
It comes padding around the corner of the generator, in the generator room. It doesn't
Okay.
stand more than a couple of feet off the ground of the domes. And it looks almost as you would expect a normal dinosaur to look. There's no wiggling tentacles.
Do you have handle animal?
That's not a skill in this game, I'm afraid. I do have natural history and... Where is it? Biology? I have biology.
Okay.
Yeah, I have biology.
We want a
Natural
pet.
history.
Give us a pet.
Roll natural history,
Do you have
please.
other
Don't
language
control that.
Japanese? It's clearly Angaras.
Roll natural history, please.
Roll natural history. Hold on.
Your natural history
Can
has
I
to
actually roll something, please? It's literally over a 50% chance. Can I roll something?
What the?
No! No, I cannot! I'm going to be the first character to die!
You won't die to an angus, I'm
Just go
sure.
pet its head. Just go pet
It's
its
fine.
head.
You
I'm
don't
not
need a
going
foot.
to.
Okay.
Just
You-
sacrifice a single foot. It's fine. I've
You
seen
back
that.
up. Yeah, I have lopped off one of Robinson's feet before in CSC.
Very. Do you,
Um,
do you scream?
It looks up at you, and
I'm gonna start
Its
backing
jaw
You
away
immediately
realise-
slowly.
dislocates to reveal two venomous fangs.
I'm gonna back away slowly and turn on the comms, just to security.
okay, as you turn on your communicator, you hear a voice quite buzzing over the comms. Is it my shift? Make me a sound check.
What?
Oh!
What was that?
A slightly plaintive, is it my shift?
Uh-oh.
Are you my mummy?
What does everyone think? Okay, I don't know what this is a reference to. I've forgotten how to roll sand. Hold on, I can't find this little thing. Where is it? I'm
Okay,
just gonna have to.
so look up your sanity score is going to be, to start with, equal
No,
to
I know,
12 points of power. It's your
it's
sanity
called
points and your
roll
gold
it like a skill
percentile.
score.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Barry,
it does.
please. There we go. I made it. I made my sand.
Right. Okay.
That
You
would have been a fail.
twitch slightly. Yeah, but to be fair, Fish, you've got 25.
Yep.
You twitch slightly because the sound, you realise, is not actually coming over your comms per se, but it's feeding back through the speaker in your ear from the
Dinosaur's
speaker
wireless.
on the tail
The
of where...
dinosaurs wireless festival they think of next.
You know the ball at the end of Angus, there's me going for it, Ankylosaurus's tail?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's less a ball, and that's more mesh and plastic.
So it's an actual wireless dinosaur.
And there's speech coming from the speaker built into the mesh on the tail that's also reverberating over your voice comms.
Actually, that is slightly better than what I was thinking.
Okay,
I was thinking you've just
gonna-
Island of Dr. Moroder. So.
What?
Oh no, it's worse
She's
than
still
that.
right.
Chrono.
I know what I have done.
The next island.
She didn't get a chance to describe the head looking up and
Yeah.
what the head looked like.
Oh, the head looks up and looks straight at you. And the slightly greenish eyes meet yours. And then clumsily, it backs away.
Okay.
You half expect to hear beep, beep, beep. This dinosaur is reversing.
Remote control dino. The latest toy to me.
Yes.
I mean, it could actually be a remote control dino and someone's pranking him and he's not going to be impressed if that is true.
Then there is another spark which you know is the prelude to a power failure.
Oh god, I've got to get back to the generator!
So this dinosaur is a technomancer.
And
Yeah, this dinosaur's got it. It's their job. Let them do it.
That club is specifically designed
It
for
doesn't even
smashing the buttons in the right order.
Button.
and then there is this spark.
Go push the
Okay.
button.
I'm gonna sort of shift, try and sort of shift, circling around it towards the generator like that's okay. Okay.
Just push the button, Frank.
I'm not messing with you. I'm just...
Okay, make me a spot, please.
So that's what 10, 15 seconds.
Make
let
a
it down?
what check?
Spot hidden.
Oh, please no.
You've got this.
You're going to get
This is where
information either way.
instead of the restart button, it's the self-destruct button, which is right next to it.
We believe in you, Tal.
You got this, Tal.
Wow.
I don't... Oh my god!
Okay,
I'm time!
you know
More
exactly.
fan lost.
You know exactly where the button is because you know this area like the back of your hand. So you sidestep around where you know the weird ankylosaurus with the speaker on its tail is.
Oh shit, the lights are out as well.
And as you glance down to make sure that even though it's pitch black, it's automatic to look down to make sure you don't trip. And you see a faint luminosity, which was not visible under normal lights, coming from the humped back with the spikes on it. And inside that luminosity, you get a brief glimpse of what looks like some kind of metallic object under the hide of the dinosaur. The skin is almost translucent in the dark, with an inner illumination. And then the whole lot just skitters backwards behind another console, and you can make it to the reset switches.
The dinosaur's gonna blow.
Is it a friend? Is it secretly a friend, Drat? Have you given me friends? I'm not going to risk it, but I really would like friends.
Your natural history would suggest otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, resetting the generator again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Drut, is this the second power outage in a matter of minutes at this
Yes.
point?
I have a feeling it might have something to do with the fact that we've got a radio interfering glowing dinosaur down
Does
here.
it feed off electricity?
I think given that I'm trying to prepare a meal for a VIP suite, I'm going to be on the comms to maintenance. I mean, it's what the
Yep.
hell's going on down there? Second time in a couple of minutes. What are you doing?
It is
Am I
coming
getting?
through.
Am I getting?
You are. You're getting a very, very strong annoyed accent from a chef.
Do I know Alan? Knight,
Yes.
do I know you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alan, if you wouldn't mind calling security, only we have an escaped dinosaur down here, and it's somehow interfering with the signal.
Say that again. You've got an escaped dinosaur there,
Yep. Yep. I
And
was looking right
you-
at it.
and you can't get security.
Nope.
Please hold, caller.
This is where he decides he wants nothing to do with it, and he responds, "Signal, but I mean, what is the link?"
I'm going into a
I don't get
large
paid enough.
chiller.
I check the timings on everything I'm trying to cook.
Okay.
See how long I've got before it goes to shit and I've got to start over. And I'll try and get security on the blower for him.
Okay. Yes, you can get Mr. Maggs, who
Yo,
is
Maggs.
the duty manager for security.
Get one of your armed guys down to where the power place is. They've got an escaped dinosaur down there.
Power, please.
Wherever it is the techies go to reset shit when the power falls off.
I love it so much.
Get them down. They got a dinosaur. Go sort it out.
There's no dinosaur down there.
There is. Barry's down there with a dinosaur. Go fix it.
Why has he got a dinosaur down there?
Ask him when you get down there. Get your fucking ass down there.
Well, there's no need to be rude.
Asset containment.
If you don't
on
start
the
shifting, I'm
island.
going to plant my size 9 on your ass and speed you down there. Get moving, soldier!
I'll have you with HR. You can't
talk
bully
small
me.
talk that way, Alan.
You can't bully me. I've got authority. And a gun.
Please tell me Barry can overhear this on comms.
Actually, can everyone hear this over comms?
How thick is Mags? Hang on a minute.
Now is when they press the wrong button and it goes out of the paneling.
Yeah.
There's a dinosaur in the generator room.
Yeah. Quick! Of course there isn't a dinosaur
Oh, no.
in the generator room.
Mags just rolled a 99 on his idea check. On his no check, sorry. Mags has just hit the group chat. All staff can hear this.
Tuned in and goes, I'm
Oh,
sorry to interrupt, gentlemen, but what part of dinosaur in the engineering did you not hear?
Do I hear screaming? What's going on exactly?
What is that?
that fish hit a sound button.
I'm sorry, I
Hello,
couldn't resist.
I'm sure that we are not supposed to have this conversation going out on an open channel. We've had this discussion.
Not now, Marina.
There's no need to be rude.
Mags.
Can you get rid of a dinosaur that is in engineering, Marina? Shut up.
I don't
Seriously?
believe there is a dinosaur in engineering. I believe that there is a hallucination.
In maintenance. And I can't leave. The power just went off twice in the last 5 minutes.
I know, I'm trying to cook.
Mags.
Have presumably is this affecting like the whole of the hotel?
Yeah.
So we've
Mhm.
noticed lights
Yeah.
flickering and lights.
There've been two
everything-
drops.
So everything is
It-
off at the moment.
Is
It's
that going
come
to
back
affect
up.
security?
Okay.
It's come back up. When you say is this going to affect security?
I mean, like CCTV and stuff like that.
Well, you haven't seen any cameras, but they wouldn't necessarily see any
I mean,
cameras.
now that I'm out in the public areas, are there any cameras?
Yes.
Right.
You are reasonably sure that where things like angles of the roof are cut off with nice smooth plastic panels, you're fairly sure that those are actually cameras,
Sure.
but they're behind fascias. It's almost determinedly non-surveillance, but
Yeah.
looking around, you're reasonably sure there are at least 3 cameras pointing in any given direction. It's quite well covered.
Yeah, I'm basically playing the tourist though at the moment
Yeah.
while I scope the area.
Yeah. Okay. Scoping around, you're out down in the public areas. So as you head through the mall, from the automatic burger and pizza facility to the buy your own wiggling hat, three guys in Bermuda shorts and really offensive Hawaiian shirts, cradling their guns, go sprinting past and vanish through a door you hadn't noticed. Legitimately hadn't noticed, which is white on white. Everything is made of white plastic. And what they do is one of them puts either his hand or a card directly on the door, and the whole lot recesses and basically pings back open like one of those kitchen cabinets without a handle.
Do I notice any of this activity whilst going? Because I'm currently travelling down to the reception.
You're in a lift and the lift stops.
Oh, lovely. I'm sure that's not some people's
This
worst
is the
nightmare.
bloody bathroom all over again, isn't it?
Since my job is technically customer relations,
Yep,
I'm in the lobby and trying to keep everyone calm who comes down.
yep.
Also, you can hear your friend on the comms trying not to panic real
yeah,
hard.
Yep.
I don't have access. You have access. I'd come down there and scare it away for you, but I can't. Wait, I can follow security. Hold on. Oh, dang, the door.
Jim, do not come
I'm
down
going to
here.
start not pushing the alarm button.
Okay. While the power is down, the alarm button does nothing.
And start banging on the door and
Okay. The plastic slightly deforms under your hand.
Oh, you've been eaten by a thing!
Does my room have a balcony?
Yes.
Right.
Are you
in
launching
that
off
case,
the balcony?
Billy will go out onto the balcony because he's really annoyed the lights have gone out and try and read his Bible by starlight.
I thought it was
It's
going to
actually still- it's actually still afternoon.
Sailing down the side of the
In
pyramid.
that case, yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. He'll go out on the balcony
Yeah.
and read his Bible there then.
Can Billy please make me a spot hidden?
Invisible
Billy, by the way,
terror!
absolutely believes he can
yeah,
fly,
what kind
provided
of
that
angle?
God wills it.
Is the pyramid
Oh,
resort
Billy
on?
can't even see Billy. 96%.
far too engrossed in verse.
Okay, as you step out, the sun really is quite strongly in your eyes. And while
If I fall
you're
off a balcony and die through a failed
alright.
spot check, I'm going to be annoyed.
while you pull the baseball cap down over your eyes in order to shield yourself, you hear, but don't see, an enormous splash, a snap, and a splash. But by the time your eyes have adjusted, the lake that you're looking out over is calm.
Is the
Snapping and splashes,
monorail?
that's probably those heathen spring break times.
The monorail has stops whenever there's a power outage, and then starts again.
Was the monorail at the bottom of the closest thing to
No,
the lake?
the thing is, the monorail goes round the outside in a circle.
Round the outside.
It's the roller coaster actually that loops over and around
Oh,
the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, did the roller coaster stop there when the power outed?
Oh gosh, can
Well,
you
there's no
imagine?
car there now.
If anybody had been looking or had not rolled a 96 on their spot hidden, they might have found out.
Oh, come on. It's a combination of me and Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy
Oh,
Grounds hates
no.
us all. And
You know what
to begin
happened?
with.
This was during the feeding pass where they chummed the water, except it stopped because the power outed and all the chum was still.
Everybody needs chums.
Chums and chumps.
Yes,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-bam.
that's what this stream's going up as.
Still
Jumps and
annoyed I
jumps.
have no Baduntis on my soundboard.
Well, at least I come nice and tinned.
So,
I mean, are you preserved though?
So you don't
very
actually,
well. Only the best that money can afford.
yeah, you don't actually see anybody falling towards the water and a giant crocodile muzzle emerging, eating them, snapping shut, and dropping back into the water. You don't see that.
I do not see a mostly harmless asaur.
Mostly harmless asaur.
Well, if you're on land, it is mostly harmless.
Fair.
So long as you're more than 10 foot,
Yeah.
10 to 15 foot away from the
Yes.
lakeshore edge.
Or short enough that it can't get an angle. Oh, and by the way, welcome to the Raiders. This is a one-shot comedy Cthulhu Jurassic Park mashup. God help us all.
In our defense,
Check your
sometimes
sanity.
we play more seriously than this. Not often, but sometimes.
Sometimes, really.
For tonight, check your sanity
Yeah,
at the
you just
door.
missed those ones.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said I think this might go to 2 sessions.
There is no sanity clause.
I wish the game was totally serious. I mean, Hamus is an absolutely serious
Drop
character, and there's
loading.
no way that I will accept any other interpretation of him.
Sorry, Tal.
No, I was just saying, you remember what happened last time,
Yes,
Bart?
yes.
It
I
was
thought
meant to
I.
be one session. We spent an hour and a half in the toilet.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Like,
Maybe
I-
longer.
what did you expect
I
at this
think
point?
getting through the front door was the hardest bit.
That took us 3 sessions to do.
What was
First
the
was
Witch
in
is
the
supposed to
toilet.
be 2, maybe 3 seconds, and it ran to
Wow, we're not
13.
party for getting things done.
We have a lot of faff. A lot of faff.
That's
Right.
because we play real, guys. We play real.
Hey,
They're real guys who just spend their entire day complaining about freaking Marina.
Thank you, Starless Skies 13.
Are you judging me right now? Public comm?
No, I'm complaining about Marina.
I think you'll find that Marina
She
has
constantly assumes he's straight.
Marina can still hear you, and what you believe your orientation to be is not necessarily what God
That was
intended
out
it
of
to be.
character, you know it.
Oh.
That was out of character,
Yeah,
you know
I Yeah. However, Marina's
The
response
one day
though,
Larry is going to snap and just say all this to her face.
yes,
Hey, hey, Fish, you realize that Billy's not going to be the first to die or the first to be pushed down behind us when we're running?
it's going
There's
to be
someone else
Marina.
more important.
At this rate, Billy's going to be the only survivor because he just stays in his room reading his Bible the whole time.
That's because you don't think anything can fly.
Ah, yes. You just die
I'm sure the
while being-
aviary is very secure.
I
Bing, bing,
I
bing,
have looked
bing,
at the
bing.
pictures and seen that there are flying dinosaurs, and I'm well aware of that. And I've heard people saying that there is no way these could possibly fly because the physics doesn't work. But physics is a heathen invention and has no basis in this God's green earth anyway.
Just look at the bee. That shouldn't fly.
Actually, technically, that article, well, not article, the paper written on the bee said that by no known laws of aerodynamics, for the methods of flight in insects, should bees be able to fly. So they should be able to fly using some other method that hasn't been accounted for.
Awesome. Bees of super science. So,
Yes,
moving on,
they're
Barry
powered by Ghost Rock.
gets... Yes. Oh, great. Why not drafting
Barry,
Deadlands? What the
save
hell?
us. Save us, Barry.
Barry, you get the power back on. Frank's...
The elevator music still plays.
Yes, you know that you're safe, Jick, when... Dee, dee, dee,
What's
dee,
that?
dee, dee,
Go from
dee,
the
I'm
Dee,
getting
dee,
off this
dee,
elevator
dee, dee.
as soon as I can and using the stairs instead.
Ah, stairs. Now that would have been a plan. And if there were any stairs,
Fire safety!
well,
They're
the
a-
thing is,
They're obeying all applicable fire safety laws.
exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if anyone can work out
Exactly.
what nation's
Yeah,
safety
this-
laws,
This is
Yeah.
extraterritorial Polynesia. It's
Yes.
owned by the company. The only rules that apply are theirs.
all over the brochures though are statements that the hotel is 100% wheelchair accessible.
I can attest to this, having walked around in a costume that is not feasible for living in.
There are literally no stairs because that would render the entire area like not completely accessible.
You just can't do that. That's not on.
Exactly. So
I will
compliance
have to-
obviously said
Yeah,
that
I'm
the
just so ableist.
yeah
We
the
can't be doing that.
cheapest way to make the entire area accessible without stairs is not to have stairs and simply have large lifts.
Also, if the lift is too slow for you, there is another option. You can just jump off the balcony.
Well, there are options going down, not so much going up.
Yeah, the thing is,
Yeah.
you can see all these corporate decisions being made by somebody.
The wheelchair racing down the slope of the pyramid.
Well,
Is
there's
there-
an
is there-
image.
Is there an employee ritual at like 4 o'clock in the morning where we all have to face the pyramid and bow?
Well, it's less of a ritual; it's more of a suggested occupation for your break.
It's a team building exercise.
Yeah.
That's even building exercise. All right, guys, on three. 1,
2008
2,
comic
3.
book when I trying to remember where somebody drove up the side of a pyramid. Was it a Judge Dredd one?
I think it was a Judge Dredd, yeah.
Oh, someone
May have
totally
been
tried to
Dredd
do that
versus
on this
that
island.
dinosaur, ironically.
Someone tried to do that on this island, and they got promoted down into admin.
They got promoted down into admin.
People
Well,
do
yeah.
get promoted. Right, so Barry, you get the lights on, and
Yeah.
you see, just vanishing around the corner of one of the stands of generator banks, just the tail, just the speaker of the tail of the Ankylosaurus.
It's just trolling now.
And then a moment later,
Solving now.
the doors leading to the stairs up to the customer areas are kicked open unnecessarily, and unfortunately the kick gets it about 6 inches, and then the auto closer stops it moving too fast. And Mags and a security detail come charging in with their semi-automatics ready to go.
Round the back. He's just pointing like round there.
And you say, there was a dinosaur.
Yeah.
From
went-
what
There
you
was
know,
a dinosaur.
from
We're
what
on
you
an
know
island covered
of-
in dinosaurs.
From what you know of Mags, he keeps his brains entirely in his gun.
Oh dear. I foresee that we're about to have another power outage.
Yes.
But he does indeed
Probably a
do
very
the whole...
long-term one.
Please
does-
say by
you
this
know
point
this-
I've reached the ground floor.
Yes. There is a donk and the door opens. He does the whole... You know the faux special forces of someone who's never been near an army in their entire life?
But
That
it's
whole
played all of the-
circling fingers and then go, go, go.
Saying over and out at the end of every
Played
radio
way
message.
too much COD during the daytime.
Exactly.
Shouldn't say over and out at the end of any message.
Yes. He gestures his 2 guys forwards, and they walk in a weird half crouch until one stands up, straightens his back, stretches it, and then just walks normally. And points the gun horizontally around the edge of the console. Well, I don't see
And Beth
anything.
can't really see where he's aiming.
Oh no, he can't see where he's aiming. Following that, he then pokes his head around. There's nothing here. You drag us down because you were lonely.
Max,
What?
if I was going to pull someone down here because I was lonely, it would not be you.
Is this one of those HR situations?
That's all Max
I
knows.
didn't actually hear that drop.
Is this one of those HR
Is that one of those-
situations?
What?
Are you wasting security's time? Are we a joke to you?
Okay, and I come round to look. I turned around to look. It was right there. It was
Okay.
about so tall. Back was glowing. Something was going on with its tail.
Okay, make me a spot hidden. Sorry, no, a listen even. Oh, the other staff are just reprehensible.
Oh no! Please no.
What did you roll?
I'm so much better at spot hidden.
Oh, my-
I actually got points in that.
How? How can you? No, never mind.
How could this happen to me? I've made my mistakes.
You're just
I've nowhere to run.
you're just preparing the road for me to succeed.
Okay. So, you look around the side of the console, and there is nothing but a smooth white plastic wall. No sign of a 10-foot-long dinosaur with a speaker for a tail. There's a sentence you won't hear often. I think I've just killed fish. But there's nothing there.
Okay. If that thing somehow got out of this area, you need to have someone sweep this entire area. Because
Right.
there is a dinosaur loose.
Of course there is.
Max,
And it just happens to have what? Vanished.
Max. Max, can you afford it if there is a dinosaur and you don't look for it?
Don't type plop into the wrong channel.
That would be bad.
That would have been a bit of a giveaway. What a giveaway.
What happened there?
No, I was just making a note of a name. I'll tell you what, I will make sure there's a proper sweep of the whole area if you can keep the lights on. You able to do that?
Went out.
I will stay here and keep the lights on.
Over the radio, you hear, "You're still on the group channel, people."
No, I'm not.
I think you'll find you are. I think you'll find that I am on my downtime. I am expecting to be allowed to have downtime. I work
Then
hard.
why haven't you taken your earpiece out of your ear?
Because
What
then
I
I
was
would
gonna
not be
say.
reachable.
Why would you want to be reachable on your downtime? Come on.
Because I am a responsible employee.
You are
Okay,
the...
Marina,
Yeah!
I highly doubt that during your downtime there's going to be any emergency that requires your help. Why don't you just take a break from the noise? Because we clearly have a problem here.
What Barry said.
Fine. I will go back to my hike. It is fine.
I was so excited! I hope she gets eaten!
Enjoy your hike, sweet cheeks.
Hike is so clearly a euphemism. for something.
Everyone's just rejoicing as we bear witness to this morbid affair.
Hashtag first to get eaten.
That's kind of irritating. We're going to.
I'm a little disappointed that nobody said.
Yeah, I was
I'm a little
thinking maybe
disappointed that
taking...
nobody said,
my-
Marina, if anybody needs an emergency blowjob, we will send someone. For you."
I believe you just said that.
How much have you been drinking?
I don't think he has. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, I was
Right.
thinking...
Okay, so back
Well,
to the lobby with the competent person who, unfortunately, his connection has dropped. Ah!
Yep.
Well, Ricky would certainly like it.
Well, see, this is a product of having a power outage, okay?
Uh-huh.
Welcome back, Renault.
Welcome back.
And is there a World Chrono? Has he appeared?
Kind of.
No.
Yes! Chrono moves again! Yay!
It's a slight movement, though.
It's a
Like,
slideshow movement.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any movement. I'm just seeing lost video feed and he's completely still.
Okay.
Quick, freeze frame.
It's kind
If you
of
can
creepy.
hear us, then give
no
us a
longer claiming the
sign.
video feed is lost for me, but he's not moving.
Ah, right,
No,
okay.
he's not moving at all.
You were the only one who vanished, unfortunately, to us.
Yes.
Okay, obviously there's an issue somewhere between... Oh, right, okay, so you can still hear us. No, Marina's about to be eaten. Oh, sorry, did I say that?
I considered taking my communicator out of my ear because I don't want to hear her get eaten, but then I thought, no, yes, I do. Yes, I really very much want. Yes.
Right.
Usually restore sand points for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, Chrono. Assuming that you can hear, if you want to drop out of VC, and I can recall you that if you think that would help.
Yeah, I'm. No, everyone else on my
Okay.
on my thing is lost video
He's
feed.
inside the spiral.
Okay, I will hang up and recall you. Okay, yeah, you just dropped the call.
Alas, poor Chrono. I knew him, Horatio.
Yes. You're longing for the death of the customer service rep.
God, yes.
Oh, that's good. He was showing us offline. That's impressive.
So the last thing that Paul Marina's going to see is something like this.
Yes.
Actually, it'd probably be taller though. It'd be sort of coming
Actually,
right here.
no,
Like that.
it's gonna
Can
be
you hear?
it's gonna be
Yes,
a real
yes.
version of the dinosaurs with the
Like a reef, or
Yeah. We
cobra
have-
dinosaurs,
Hang on.
the ones that are around the dining area where you're gonna feed people hot dogs and hamburgers. Oh my god!
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hang on a sec.
I
Where's this window
The
gone?
game.
You're back in the room. That's cool. We like that game.
It's probably
Chrono's
my
being attacked by the
connection
radio
now.
dinosaur.
Yeah.
Make sure you try turning your router off and on again. Like turn it off, give it 30 seconds, turn it back on.
The first
think,
one
to be honest, what we
the
may be
video saw
learning-
killed the radio saw.
The radio store.
Yeah.
What we may be learning here is that VC is a really good video chat system, but it's not designed for this many people.
Hmm.
It was originally designed for
Can the radio
telemedicine. You're
dinosaur
normally going to
play?
have like
Can it play the
one
game?
consultant and
one
one
patient.
doctor.
I would like to point out though that Spud's signal, at least from what I can see, has the same value as Chrono's signal, and Spud's coming through just fine.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. The signal strength is not necessarily the cause here.
No, I think Chrono's connection's gone south. So what I will
Apologies to
do.
people in chat for the fact that this is not going entirely smoothly.
No.
These technical difficulties are brought to you by generator failures in the park.
That's what it is. Yes.
But
Okay.
I won
What I am
one
going.
video point.
What I am going to give you is I think I will wrap up this session early rather than carrying on too long without Chrono.
I was going to suggest that on the immediate front, in case Chrono's connection clears up, you should be able to just message him via like the BC Fantasy
Yeah.
Grounds or
No.
in chat, which he's clearly still in.
No, what I'm going to give
Yeah.
you, is I am going to give you. Oh, it moved. Oh my God. I am going to give you something that you suggested all as a joke, but that does indeed have the facility to happen.
Who suggested what is a joke?
That's a long list.
The speakers concealed around the entire resort buzz and hum. And the next thing you hear is, "Excuse me? Excuse me? No." And you hear a low-pitched buzzing. No,
Do we hear
that
this
is
downstairs
rude.
as
You
well?
hear it over your comms. Anybody in the public area hears it over the speakers as well. No, rude. No.
What?
No.
What is it now, Marina?
I think you'll find that is not in my contract.
Marina, do you not know how to speak to people?
Marina,
What do you... Crunch. And a burst of high-pitched static yells out from the speakers, and anyone with a built-in comms in their costume is in trouble.
Rather see if you can preserve your eardrums.
Poor Shard.
Yeah. Sure. Basically, everybody who's got their comms in their ear is clawing out their earpiece. Poor old
I
Jim.
can't get to them. I'm clawing at my head
Jim
on the floor of the
is
lobby.
shoving a claw into his own face in order to try and get in under the jaws.
I'm ripping up the
Noticing
glove,
stress.
the animatronic arm, so that I can get my hand out, tearing my
Noticing the
costume
stress.
apart.
Frank will try and help.
So you're trying to yank his head off under the Santa hood.
Yeah.
And anyone else in the lobby watching this is like,
Yeah.
that dude is tearing the dinosaur apart! What's happening?
The poor 6-year-old child is like having the worst time.
Why does the bad man not like raptors?
Yes. So you can indeed yank away eventually the animatronic head, revealing a hot and sweaty Barry, Jim underneath.
Either one.
Yeah.
They're interchangeable at this point.
Since we're interchangeable, Barry,
So,
what
are you okay,
kind of
77?
hairstyle do we have? Is it like
77,
long
you
and
okay?
shaggy?
Yep. And you have nothing now over the speakers. Everything is quiet.
And then all of a sudden I realize, woohoo! Kevin! Barry? Oh, I can't hear anything.
Barry can hear, and both in person and over the comms, he can hear Mags calling for Marina. And indeed, Alan can hear Mags calling for Marina.
She can't hear you, dude. She's not there.
Okay. And then the power drops again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, fuck.
And I will call it there.
Hitting the buttons like for fuck's sake.
Fishy, you say there's no Marina, but what you don't realize is that Marina's just evolved into something new.
Yep.
And she's going to terrify us.
Marina.
Reincarnated as a dinosaur.
And it's going to be worse. Because she's going to ask us stupid questions and tell us stupid things.
But she's going to ask a dinosaur. Unless we can speak dinosaur, we're not going to understand it.
I am a dinosaur. I can
That
speak
dinosaur
dinosaur.
I met spoke quite well in English.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It literally interfered with the comms and asked if it was its shift yet. I don't know if it just wants to work.
This is when we
Like,
find
maybe
out
it
that
also
they've been
wants a terrible
transplanting
job.
the
Honestly,
missing
I feel
staff
like-
workers.
I feel like if Barry and this dinosaur some time, they could actually get on really well.
You should have just let the dinosaur get to its job. You should have just walked out.
Right. So yes, we will call it there as the power drops again, leaving everything switched off
Is
temporarily.
it clear? Is it clear from the sound that Marina got eaten, or is it just a crunch that it's like, oh god, she probably stepped on her bloody comm?
Well, it's possible if she had yanked her comm out, jumped up and down on it repeatedly, then that would have accommodated the crunch. However, what it wouldn't would have incorporated the whooshing glorp that preceded the crunch.
And the crunch wasn't a solid crunch, was it? It was kind of more of a chew crunch, so it lasted a bit.
Oh,
Probably a bit
It
wet.
did, yeah, it didn't stop instantly.
why did my mind immediately jump to the Goon Show?
I don't know.
Because you're not in here.
No.
She's falling in the water. No,
Pardon
You see, Karen, I love the idea of the whooshing glorp. I think it sounds wonderful. So long as I don't ever get to hear it in person, firsthand.
So, if there's ever a full, like, Hintfishy meetup. That is the first thing that's going to be said by someone.
Wishing glorp.
Yep.
So surely the wishing glorp is everyone running in for a big group hug as we
Yep.
see each other.
Yep.
That's the wishing glorp.
Oh God.
So, following on from Jake's suggestion, I mean, after she's fallen in the water, presumably then the reader responds, "You dirty rotten swine, you deaded me."
Well, we'll just have to
Apologies
wait.
for anybody who doesn't know the Goon Show.
Yeah. New pub name in Swords of Slaughter Deep. Yes, the Wishing Glorp. At the sign of the Wishing Glorp.
Oh no! I just realized another good thing about Marina getting eaten. More chance of getting promoted because that asshole's not in my way.
Dead man's boots or dead woman's high heels.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's Frank kind of holding on to Jim, going, 77. Are you okay? 77. What you tell me your name is
Got a
employee
very huge
77.
props for remembering 77.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Right, so, as we leave it, Frank, 77, and Vicky are in the lobby area, lobby mall. Barry is downstairs with Mags and his security team in the dark, in the generator room. Billy is rising above it all, reading his Bible on the balcony and completely missing everything.
Absolutely everything, yes.
And Alan is getting really hacked off and is suspecting that at some point he's going to lose access to his ovens. Because these hot dogs ain't going to boil themselves.
Yeah, at this point we've had the power go down 3 times in the space of a couple of minutes. I know how crappy Mags and his team are. I'm giving up hope of being able to cook it right now, and I'm going to go and help out. How close are we to our dorms from where I'm working?
Pardon me. The dorms are on the first level down, so they're actually on the same level as the kitchens.
So effectively, I'll be going past my dorm to get to.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and get Vera
Okay.
because I don't trust the security guards. to
Right
do
then.
any sort of-
That's a reference that I know. I see you, Knight. I know what you're doing. You are not subtle.
May not have been on the winning side. Still don't think I was on the wrong side.
Fair. Okay, so we will call it there. And screw the forms, I've got money. I hope you enjoyed it. You have actually just run headlong into the plot.
At last.
Yes, the manager will want to speak with Ricky. And we will take it from there at the point of large disaster. So, I apologise for the technical issue.
No, you don't. You wanted this part to fail. Oh, you're apologizing to
I think she's talking about the stream,
I
technically.
am.
She's not the part.
Yes, I do, as I said, I've got a...
Gremlin face.
Yeah. I do have a local recording going, so hopefully if the stream was too choppy, then hopefully the local recording will be okay and I can just export that. She says just. So, thank you very much. So next week is Wars, I believe.
Yep, that's right. We'll be starting again at 6:30, same as we did here.
Okay.
For those that are joining us for Wars or have never heard it before, it's a sci-fi game set in our solar system. We've got planetary travel between the planets and moons in the system. We've colonized out to some of the moons further out to Saturn, Jupiter, and various factions have created and gone to war with each other as to who gets to rule what. And then 2 alien races popped in with their own war, and now we've got a 5-way war, and the players are kind of caught somewhere in the middle.
Okay. And after that, we'll be heading back logically to Numenera.
Assuming everybody's good for Numenera, we haven't actually specified that, yes, definitely that's going to be Numenera on the 29th.
Okay.
But if everybody can make it, it will be.
I can make
I
it,
need
and
to
I'm good
check
for
with
it.
players to make sure everyone can make it.
Spud, you were saying?
I was going to say, will we be doing this in the new year then? I closed my second character.
as it stands, I believe it's the 4th of January. Let me just check, because otherwise I don't know my dates. I don't know my dates. It's the 5th, which I should know. It's my mum's birthday. So at the moment, it's the 5th of January. If people can make that, awesome. I will go then. If we can't, then we might have to try and sort out a midweek session. But otherwise, we'll aim for the 5th, if that's okay.
Sounds good to
Obviously,
me.
things get a bit weird this time of year in terms of scheduling, so we can't guarantee when
Yeah.
things are going to be. We've got to make sure everyone can make it.
Yeah.
I will say, being in the time zone I am, apart from you guys,
Yeah.
midweek session is virtually impossible.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I wouldn't
I
want
mean,
to.
I can step out and you can continue without me and just
You
have me
kidding
do
me?
things that you know that I would do. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
that hard.
Are you kidding me? Why on earth would I not want the poor bastard stuck in the Velociraptor costume?
I mean, theoretically, with the party split as much as it is, you could run two separate sessions taking place at the same time.
Until we
with
get to the
different
point
people in
where
each
we
one.
encounter each other. It wouldn't make a good visual medium unless the party split's happening at the same time.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, but like,
how would you have the riveting discussion
no.
between
I
Jim and
would-
Barry just
We would miss that interplay.
complaining
Yeah.
about their co-workers?
We
To
would
be
miss
honest-
that interplay.
Yeah, to be honest, once now this has started moving properly, this is another session and then we're done. Okay, so it won't rumble on. It will not rumble on. Failing all else, I'll just have you eaten by dinosaurs.
It will not run longer than one more session because I will eat you all first.
I do have a plan. If anyone gets killed by dinosaurs, I'm going to hand over a dinosaur character to them and let them just play a dinosaur.
You
And
realise
then-
now we're going to be
Damn it, I
launching
like
ourselves
that, but
off
also
of the
I wanna play
balcony.
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I was
dinosaurs.
about to say.
Eat me!
Right, so we will
I'm
call
ready to
it.
play.
Yeah, we will.
Ah!
Hey, if I
If
die,
that's the
can I
case,
call the dibs on the annoying little Lankyler who just wants a job?
Yes,
If Barry dies, can I call dibs on that Ankyler?
you can indeed.
Can
Thank
I,
you.
if Jim dies, can I call dibs on the Carnobrontosaurus thing?
No, sorry, they're strictly NPC material.
it's like if Frank dies, I don't mind what dinosaur as long as I get to call him Barney.
We haven't got enough paint to paint a full-size dinosaur purple.
So if we've got invisible dinosaurs, we can damn well make purple ones.
You see, that's
mean-
something I feel someone ought to quote. But
Purple is a very occult color, so
Yeah.
that suits.
Purple's a very expensive type of dye.
For all we know, these dinosaurs are purple anyway.
Invisible is very cheap to make
We
because
don't
you don't
know.
actually need any colours.
okay, right, I am going to strangle this session in its crib now.
Oh, try.
And before anything gets even sillier, and
That's murder. That is illegal.
yeah, and take it from there. Yeah, indeed, drop the baby.
Drop
Absolutely,
the baby.
yes.
It's
Hashtag
like, oh,
drop
yeah,
the baby.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, indeed.
Right,
Season's greetings, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, whatever the
yeah.
is
Happy
appropriate
snow
to you. Have
day!
at it.
Yeah.
Delete as applicable. And I
Delete
hope
as-
everybody has a great time and doesn't get eaten by